Chapter 256. Ning Cheng was also shocked. How did this woman know that he had the twin heavenly cloud wings? That's right, it should be the moment when he rushed out of the Mirage Ship Island, which was seen by this female cultivator. Thinking of this, Ning Cheng frowned. The twin heavenly cloud wings was not a simple thing. Once it was exposed, it would not be a good thing for him. Seeing Ning Cheng frown, Liang Kersen immediately knew what Ning Cheng was worried about. She slowly sat down and spoke. Elder brother Ning does not have to worry that I will speak about the matter of you having the twin heavenly cloud wings. If I wanted to speak about it, then I would not have come here today. But elder brother Ning actually used the spiritual enhancement True Nectar to refine a spiritual tea. It really makes me unable to believe it. Ning Cheng waved his hand, as if he did not hear the meaning behind Liang Kersen's words. This is a gift from a familiar friend. Junior apprentice Sister Liang had once saved my life. I naturally cannot be stingy. Seeing that Ning Cheng did not have the intention to give her this spiritual tea, Liang Kersen was slightly disappointed in her heart, but she quickly adjusted herself and continued. Shin Yongyi being injured in a sneak attack was also arranged by me, but he did not know about it. Since you saved Shin Yongyi, it made me think that you are a trustworthy person, so I decided to make a gamble. Ning Cheng understood the meaning behind Liang Kersen's words, not to mention the Yixing mainland where the strong preyed on the weak. Even in the Jiangzhou where the laws were sound, if this kind of thing occurred, then there would not be many people who could help. No wonder after that youth was injured he fell to my side. His injuries were not light. Ning Cheng had some doubts in his heart. The opposite party did not know him, so why would she attack a person she knew, just to save him? Liang Kersen showed a faint smile. Siki attacking Shin Yongyi was actually for his own good, otherwise Shin Yongyi might not have even lost his life. Did you think that after obtaining a Mirage Stone on the Mirage Gazing Conglomerate, you would be able to safely return to the Mirage Gazing Conglomerate? Seeing Ning Cheng turn silent, Liang Kersen once again spoke. You have the twin heavenly cloud wings because I saw it. The moment you left the Mirage Gazing Conglomerate, I saw it. You do not have to worry about it, because my eyes are different from others. I am sure that I was the only one who saw it. Ning Cheng had already guessed this, but instead calmed down he asked, did you obtain a lot of Mirage Stones on the Mirage ship? Liang Kersen did not deny it. Yes, I indeed obtained 9 Mirage Stones, but unfortunately, I only obtained 3 Mirage Stones and 6 Mirage Stones. As for the 9 colored Mirage Stones that I need, I was not able to obtain even a single one. Ning Cheng couldn't help but think in his heart, this woman really was not simple. Relying on her special eyes, she was able to obtain 9 of them. One had to know that he relied on the twin heavenly cloud wings and his powerful and condensed spiritual consciousness, which allowed him to obtain a bit more than others. I know that you have at least obtained 9 colored Mirage Stones. I do not need much. As long as you can give me a 9-colored Mirage Stone, I can give you 4 6-colored Mirage Stones. At the same time you can open up any other conditions. Liang Kersen spoke in a very straightforward manner, as she stared at Ning Cheng, waiting for Ning Cheng's reply. How did you know that I obtained the 9-colored Mirage Tree's Mirage Stone? Ning Cheng did not immediately answer Liang Kersen's words, but instead asked a question. Because I saw that intermediate stage soul essence cultivator standing next to a huge pit and muttering to himself. Someone unexpectedly dug out the 9-colored Mirage Tree. Who would have such a powerful magical weapon? Liang Kersen replied in a sinking voice. Later when I came out, I saw that you have the twin heavenly cloud wings. I guessed that the person who dug out the 9-colored Mirage Tree was definitely you without a doubt. Because the 9-colored Mirage Tree is located in the depths of the Mirage Ship Island. An ordinary profound core cultivator would simply not be able to reach there in such a short time. Moreover, you have the twin heavenly cloud wings. Ning Cheng came to understand. It seems that what Liang Kersen had said was not wrong. For a cultivator who could dig out the 9-colored Mirage Tree, that intermediate stage soul essence cultivator would definitely not let it go. To be exact, Liang Kersen's judgment was correct. If he had continued to stay on the ship, then perhaps in a few days he would have suffered a calamity. Many thanks, Junior Apprentice Sister Liang. I now understand that Junior Apprentice Sister Liang really did save my life. Ning Cheng thanked her before he suddenly asked again. I have the twin heavenly cloud wings. which allowed me to reach the depths of the Mirage Ship Island so quickly. But how could junior apprentice Sister Liang see that place so quickly? According to my observation, junior apprentice Sister Liang's cultivation does not seem to be higher than mine. Liang Curson, on hearing Ning Cheng's words, gave a chuckle and spoke. The reason why I came here today to trade with elder brother Ning is because I know that elder brother Ning is a trustworthy person. Elder brother Ning has his own secrets, but I also have my own secrets. Please forgive me, but I do not want to speak out my own secrets. If elder brother Ning is willing to exchange for the 9-colored Mirage Stone, then I will agree to any of your conditions. If elder brother Ning does not agree to exchange for the 9-colored Mirage Stone, then I will treat it as if I had never come here. At the same time, I will also not divulge elder brother Ning's secrets. Ning Cheng nodded. He knew that since Liang Curson had spoken in such a manner, then even if he wanted the other party to accompany him to sleep, the other party would not hesitate to agree. From this, it could be seen that the Mirage Stone of the 9-colored Mirage Tree was very important to Liang Curson. Junior apprentice Sister Liang, as far as I know, all Mirage Stones are white in color, but the degree of whiteness varies. Why do you want to speak about the 9-colored Mirage Stone? Ning Cheng did not agree, nor did he disagree, but rather asked about an irrelevant matter. Senior apprentice brother Ning, you don't even know about this, right? Liang Curson looked at Ning Cheng with some surprise. After a while, she suddenly took out a jade basin. While simultaneously pouring a little water into the jade basin, she then took out a white-colored Mirage Stone and placed it into the jade basin. Ning Cheng was amazed to find that the white-colored Mirage Stone in the jade basin immediately shot out 6 different colors. It was like a dream. It was simply magnificent. Liang Curson once again took out the Mirage Stone. The Mirage Stone was still white in color, and the water was still the same as before. Ning Cheng did not wait for Liang Curson to speak, as he also took out a Mirage Stone and placed it into the jade basin. The Mirage Stone was pure to the point that it did not have a trace of impurities. It immediately shot out 9 different colors. It was even more beautiful than before. So it was like this. Ning Cheng muttered to himself. You really do have a 9-colored Mirage Stone. Liang Curson was pleasantly surprised as she stared at the Mirage Stone in the jade basin. The fire in her eyes could be seen at a glance. Ning Cheng smiled. Of course I have a 9-colored Mirage Stone. This one is for you. For me? Even if Liang Curson knew that Ning Cheng had 9 9-colored Mirage Stones, but for Ning Cheng to casually give it to her like this, it was still too shocking for her. The value of a 9-colored Mirage Stone was incomparably huge. Even if it was 106 colored Mirage Stones, it would still be far from being comparable to a 9-colored Mirage Stone. She wanted to use this opportunity to repay Ning Cheng's kindness in exchange for a 9-colored Mirage Stone. Of course it's for you. Do you think my life is so worthless? You saved my life, yet I still want the things of my savior. You really look down on me too much. Ning Cheng finished as he took out a jade bottle and spoke. This is a spiritual enhancement true nectar. I will also give it to you. Sure enough, there really is a spiritual enhancement true nectar. Liang Curson suppressed her excitement, as she quickly put away the Mirage Stone and the spiritual enhancement true nectar that Ning Cheng gave her, as she gave a respectful bow to Ning Cheng and spoke. Many thanks, big brother Ning. She was completely unable to contain the excitement in her heart. Not only did she obtain a Mirage Stone, but she also obtained a spiritual enhancement true nectar. It could be seen that she had not done anything wrong, although she had taken a huge risk, but she had obtained a much greater reward. With the Mirage Stone and the spiritual enhancement true nectar, if she were to join the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, then in just 3 years, she would once again climb up to the Soul Essence realm. With the spiritual seeding cultivation method that she cultivated, once she advanced to the Soul Essence realm, her cultivation would definitely be able to insta-kill those of the same level. If she could enter the Rainbow Fall Sword sect's small spiritual domain to cultivate, then perhaps in less than 10 years, she would be able to sculpt her soul. Big brother again, Ning Cheng sighed. Fortunately Fu Xiaomei was not here. Otherwise he would have definitely asked if his skin was allergic. It was only after a good while that Liang Curson calmed down her excitement, as she tried to calm down her tone and spoke. Does big brother Ning have any plans? Ning Cheng did not conceal it. I heard that the Rainbow Fall Sword sect is recruiting disciples. I was just about to go to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect to try my luck. If I can run into some luck, then I want to become an inner sect disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, and even stay in the Rainbow Fall Sword sect to cultivate. That's great. I am also planning to go to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. However, I think that Big Brother Ning, it would be best if you did not take out your Mirage Stone to join. With your ability, presumably you would be able to get a spot as an inner sect disciple in the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. Liang Kursen, on hearing that Ning Cheng also wanted to go to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, immediately spoke up. Ning Cheng looked at Liang Kursen in doubt. How could it be so coincidental? He wanted to go to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, and this woman also wanted to go? However, he still asked, I have a few 3-colored Mirage Stones. I also intend to use these 3-colored Mirage Stones to open up a path. I heard that the Rainbow Fall Sword sect has a small spiritual domain. I really want to go in and cultivate for a period of time. Liang Kursen spoke in a stern tone. Although you have already left the Mirage Gazing Island, but there will definitely be people keeping an eye on you. Do you know who owns the Mirage Gazing conglomerate? It is the force of the Mirage Gazing Island's Deputy Island Master Me. After you join the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, they certainly would not dare to make a move against you, which is a good thing. If you take out the Mirage Stones, then there would be even more eyes staring at you. Many thanks, Junior Apprentice Sister Liang. I know what to do. Ning Cheng did not care about it. What he needed now was to enhance his strength. As long as he had enough strength, then who would be able to catch up with him? Liang Kursen had only mentioned it once, but seeing that Ning Cheng did not care about it, she no longer spoke about it, and just asked, is Big Brother Ning willing to go with me to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect to participate in the disciple selection? Of course I am willing. It's just that I do not know anything about the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. Can Junior Apprentice Sister Liang explain a thing or two to me? Ning Cheng was looking for someone to go with him to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. Now that Liang Kursen had delivered herself to his door, how could he refuse? Liang Kursen was in a very happy mood. Of course, the Rainbow Fall Sword sect is one of the Tian continent's quasi-first-class academies. Its strength is incomparably formidable. They even have several peak crucible transformation cultivators. Ning Cheng suddenly interrupted Liang Kursen's words and asked, Junior Apprentice Sister Liang, I heard that there is a realm above the crucible transformation realm. Is this true or false? Liang Kursen showed a faint smile and spoke. You are a rogue cultivator. It is normal for you not to know about it. Of course it is true. In the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, there is an existence that surpasses the crucible transformation cultivators. However, really? What kind of realm is that? Ning Cheng was incomparably shocked in his heart. Crucible transformation realm was simply an unreachable existence for him. While the Rainbow Fall Sword sect had a cultivator that surpassed the Crucible Transformation realm, but it was only a quasi-first-class academy. It is not a realm, it is because the Yixing mainland's laws are broken. Even if a Crucible Transformation cultivator cultivates to a realm that surpasses the Crucible Transformation realm, there would not be any Tribulation Thunder falling. Without Tribulation Thunder, there would not be any laws governing the realm. Without the laws governing the realm, there would not be any realm. Therefore, some of the cultivators with powerful cultivations would want to leave the Yixing mainland through the Heaven's Way in order to find an opportunity to advance. Liang Kursen spoke in a light voice. Chapter 257. Luoling City was not close to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. Of course, this distance was only relative to ordinary cultivators. For people with high cultivation, they could reach it in just a short while. With Ning Cheng and Liang Kursen using a medium-grade flight-type spiritual artifact, it would probably take them about half a day. After leaving Luoling City, Liang Kursen did not take out a flight-type magical weapon. Rather, she sat on Ning Cheng's medium-grade airship. Big Brother Ning, I am very curious as to how you managed to escape from the Mirage Gazing Island. That old man Peng is not simple. I heard that the people that he targeted, none of them could escape. Even Soul Essence cultivators would be found by him. On the airship-type magical weapon, Liang Kursen asked in a very puzzled manner. Although she knew that this was Ning Cheng's secret, and that she should not ask about it, but curiosity drove her. She knew that Ning Cheng wanted to return to the Tian continent from the Mirage Gazing Island, and would definitely need to use the transmission array. Even if Ning Cheng had the twin heavenly cloud wings, it would still be impossible for him to fly to the Tian continent. Not to mention the distance from the mirage-gazing island to the Tian continent. Even if he had the twin heavenly cloud wings, it would still take at least a few years. Moreover, the monstrous beasts in the middle would be able to tear Ning Cheng to shreds. Even if all these were not considered, who could use the twin heavenly cloud wings nonstop for a year? The twin heavenly cloud wings, to put it bluntly, were external objects, and also required true essence and spiritual consciousness to use. Ning Cheng smiled, and was just about to speak, when suddenly a fiery red shadow flashed past his spiritual consciousness. Moreover, this shadow also had a strong spiritual chi fluctuation. Just by sweeping it with his spiritual consciousness, he could feel a trace of loosening of his spiritual consciousness. Pure Yang Fire Ginseng. It has a ginseng spirit? Liang Curson exclaimed, and then anxiously spoke. Ning Cheng quickly chased after it. This is a pure Yang Fire Ginseng with spiritual wisdom. Its value is even higher than a mirage stone. It is simply incalculable. Liang Curson was so excited that she even forgot about Big Brother Ning. Ning Cheng quickly drove the airship to chase after it. He also saw that it was a pure Yang Fire Ginseng. But to say that it gave birth to a ginseng spirit, it was absolutely impossible. Big Brother Ning. Curson saw that Ning Cheng was just using the airship to chase after the pure Yang Fire Ginseng, and spoke with even more anxiously. Ning Cheng did not panic, and showed a slight smile. Junior apprentice Sister Liang. I see that you is not a simple person. How can Yang Ginseng? This was the road leading from the Luoling city to the Rainbow Fallsword sect. How many people pass through it every day? Do you think a sentient pure Yang flame would appear here? Are you saying that this is fake? Liang Curson muttered. That's right. How could the pure Yang Fire Ginseng appear here? Moreover, the pure Yang Fire Ginseng is a spiritual object of the heavens and earth. As such, it would generally appear in the mountains, rivers and lakes. So how could it be seen by others? That's right, Big Brother Ning. Since it is fake, then why did you chase after it? Liang Curson did not think that it was fake for the first time, because her spiritual consciousness was far inferior to Ning Cheng's, coupled with the fact that she did not have such miscellaneous knowledge like Ning Cheng. Now that Ning Cheng reminded her, she immediately understood. Ning Cheng gave a smile. If the pure Yang Fire Ginseng is fake, then it means that someone used the pure Yang Fire Ginseng to lure us to a secluded place to kill us. Why don't I fulfill his wish? Of course, if junior apprentice Sister Liang feels unsafe, then you can wait for me at the Rainbow Fallsword sect. I will go alone. How could I be afraid of death? But the one intercepting us here is most likely to be that soul essence cultivator. I am afraid. Liang Curson had already guessed that the cultivator who was trying to lure them away was most likely a soul essence cultivator. Ning Cheng nodded. That's right, there is an 80 to 90% chance that it is that guy. Initially when we were at sea, I was afraid of him, and did not dare to make a move, but now that we are here, I do not have any reason not to make a move. Besides, don't I still have junior apprentice Sister Liang to help me? Ning Cheng's words were not a compliment. He felt that Liang Curson was definitely not simple. She was definitely not an ordinary profound congealing cultivator. Big Brother Ning, if it really is that cultivator, and I cannot beat him, then I might have to temporarily escape, but I would not be able to take you away. Liang Curson hesitated for a moment, before speaking the truth. You also know that I have the twin heavenly cloud wings. As long as you can escape, then how could I not be able to escape? I only ask of you one thing: when the time comes, do your best to entangle that guy, even if it is only for a few breaths. Ning Cheng spoke without any care. What if it is a soul sculpting cultivator? Liang Curson asked in a worried voice. Ning Cheng gave an affirmative reply. It is definitely not a soul sculpting cultivator. You can rest assured about it. If it was a cultivator in the soul sculpting realm, then why would they use such a method to lead them to a secluded place? He could kill the two of them with just a wave of his hand. The other party should have known that he and Liang Curson were not people to be trifled with, and would not be able to kill them in a short time. As such, he thought of a way to lead the two of them to a secluded place. After all, the place that the two of them passed through was the main road leading to the Rainbow Fallsword sect. This kind of person was at most a soul essence cultivator. There was even a possibility that he was a profound core cultivator. This person is luring us over, or that pure young fire ginseng is also fake. If it was that soul essence cultivator, how confident are you? Liang Kersen already knew that Ning Cheng's guess was correct, because her spiritual consciousness could occasionally capture the escape trajectory of the fire ginseng, which was obviously not normal. Ning Cheng smiled and spoke, since they decided to make their move, then it means that they have a certain amount of assurance. Although the pure young fire ginseng did not develop intelligence, it was not fake. The reason why the fire ginseng could escape was because there was a talisman inside the fire ginseng. Using a talisman to show off in front of a talisman grandmaster like me. This kid is simply courting death. Moreover, this bastard schemed against me. I am already not happy about it. If I do not kill him, then it would be unfair to him. Are you a talisman grandmaster? Liang Kersen even forgot about the matter of chasing after the pure young fire ginseng, as she looked at Ning Cheng in doubt and asked. Let's talk about this later, I have to speed up. Ning Cheng finished speaking. As the airship's speed rapidly increased, the shadow of the fire ginseng once again appeared in the range of the two people's spiritual consciousness. After another hour, the fire ginseng escaped into a large and extremely remote mountain range, before disappearing from sight. Let's start. Ning Cheng gave a signal to Liang Kersen, as he landed the airship-type magical weapon. You have guts, knowing that I lured you over, yet still dare to come here. An indifferent voice arrived, followed by a male cultivator appearing in front of Ning Cheng and Liang Kersen. It was the intermediate stage soul essence cultivator, who had previously spoken on the mirage-gazing conglomerate. After this intermediate stage soul essence cultivator finished speaking, he waved his hand, and a fiery red shadow appeared in the palm of his hand, before it immediately disappeared. This fiery red shadow was the pure young fire ginseng that Ning Cheng and Liang Kersen had been chasing after. Liang Kersen gathered her true essence, and a plain-looking lamp appeared in the palm of her hand. Hey, Heaven's Mandate Neon Glow Lamp? I really did not guess wrong, your origin is not simple at all. The intermediate stage soul essence cultivator stared at the lamp in Liang Kersen's hand, and exclaimed in surprise. Liang Kersen frowned and suddenly spoke to Ning Cheng. Big brother Ning, this time it seems that I have implicated you. This person must have followed me here, and then found you. Ning Cheng was not surprised as he nodded and spoke. I guessed it, let's do it. Ning Cheng simply did not speak a second sentence, as he immediately brought out his true cosmic devil axe, while simultaneously bringing out an inexhaustible vortex of axe shadows. These vortexes were filled with a thick angry axe-killing intent, as they instantly wrapped around this intermediate stage soul essence cultivator. Devil cultivator? Once Ning Cheng made his move, Liang Kersen and the middle-aged soul essence cultivator were immediately aware of it. However, Liang Kersen did not care about it, as the Heaven's Mandate neon cloud lantern in her hand also transformed into an endless multicolored light that rolled up. You really are not an ordinary profound congealing cultivator, just this kind of thing, in front of me it is not enough. The middle-aged soul essence cultivator sneered, as he simultaneously brought out a black claw shadow. When this claw shadow was brought out, it was only a palm-sized shadow, but when this claw shadow and Ning Cheng's axe-killing vortex collided, it immediately transformed into innumerable ghost-faced claw shadows. This is the explosive flame ghost claw. Ning Cheng, you better be careful. Liang Kersen's voice had just fallen, when the explosive flame ghost claw's innumerable ghost-faced faces suddenly exploded. These innumerable ghost-faced faces brought with them a terrifying yin qi that completely swallowed up Ning Cheng's angry axe-killing shadow without a trace. Even Liang Kersen's endless multicolored light was completely wiped out by this claw shadow. Liang Kersen was directly sent flying dozens of meters away, as she spat out a mouthful of blood in the air. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness and true essence was far stronger than Liang Kersen's. As such, after his axe shadow was swallowed up, he was only pushed back a few steps, before he finally stabilized himself. Bringing out the true cosmic devil axe once again, he simultaneously waved his hand, causing a 10 feet tall level 6 puppet to madly rush towards the intermediate stage soul essence cultivator. When the intermediate stage Soul Essence Cultivator's explosive flame ghost claw landed on the puppet, it was only able to create a few holes on the puppet's body, but it was completely unable to stop the puppet. So it turns out that you are relying on your powerful spiritual consciousness and a soul essence puppet. The intermediate stage Soul Essence Cultivator sneered, as the imposing aura emanating from his body skyrocketed. Liang Kursan was shocked at how Ning Cheng could have a level 6 puppet. When Ning Cheng's sound transmission arrived, Junior Apprentice Sister Liang, use your most powerful move to tie down this intermediate stage Soul Essence Cultivator for a short period of time. Just as Ning Cheng finished speaking, the true cosmic devil axe in his hands once again brought out an innumerable angry axe vortex. These axe shadows were also mixed with a crisscrossing axe trace. Insignificant skill. Although Ning Cheng had blasted out such a powerful axe trace filled with killing intent, but in the eyes of this intermediate stage Soul Essence Cultivator, it was nothing more than an itch. Liang Kursan, on seeing Ning Cheng's crazy actions, also knew that Ning Cheng definitely had a killing move. Whether they succeeded or failed would depend on this one move. Otherwise, she could only escape. The Heaven's Mandate neon cloud lantern also started to move. As the dense lights flickered, it was as if there was a kind of destiny calling out to it, as it swept towards the Soul Essence Cultivator. This Soul Essence Cultivator was tied down by the level 6 puppet cultivator. As long as he was given a few breaths of time, he would be able to completely smash this level 6 puppet to pieces, but Ning Cheng's angry axe killing intent made it so that he had no choice but to divert some of his attention to block it. Although these angry axe killing intent vortexes were not a threat to him, but they were extremely annoying. But at this time, Liang Kursan's Heaven's Mandate neon cloud lantern completely erupted. The Heaven's Mandate neon cloud lantern's powerful destiny calling out to it caused the Soul Essence Cultivator to be stunned for a moment. In just a moment, a large black net came over to envelop him. Once this large net came over, the Soul Essence Cultivator immediately felt as if his soul was locked in place. You want to trap me with just a few magical weapons? Break for me. The Soul Essence Cultivator gave an angry roar, as the exploding flame ghost claw once again burst out with innumerable ghost-faced claw shadows. These claw shadows crazily swept out, causing Ning Cheng's angry axe's killing light to completely disappear. But that large black net unexpectedly came to a standstill in the space. Liang Kursan's inexhaustible lights also instantly dimmed. She was once again blown away. This time she spat out a few mouthfuls of blood out of thin air. In just one attack, she was seriously injured. Fortunately, her light once again blocked the ghost-faced claw shadows of the exploding flame ghost claw. Otherwise she would have died without a doubt. She was sure that she would not be able to block the third attack. I can't. Liang Kursan had just spoken out a few miserable words when she heard Ning Cheng shout out, "Explode for me." Chapter 258. A kind of extremely berserk aura instantly filled up the surrounding heaven and earth. Liang Kursan, who was thrown back a few hundred meters, also felt a kind of shock. She immediately understood what was going on. Ning Cheng wanted to blow up his Soul Essence puppet. The value of a rank 6 Soul Essence puppet was very precious even for a Soul Essence cultivator. Yet Ning Cheng had suddenly exploded it. This was simply too much. Not good. The other party unexpectedly wants to blow up his Soul Essence puppet. This intermediate stage Soul Essence cultivator was the first to understand Ning Cheng's thoughts, and was immediately shocked. For a profound congealing cultivator to be able to drive a Soul Essence puppet was already very amazing, but the opposite party was actually able to make a Soul Essence puppet to explode. Just how powerful was his spiritual consciousness? However, no matter what was going on, this intermediate stage Soul Essence cultivator did not dare to directly face the self-destruction of a Soul Essence puppet. Once he was caught in this kind of self-destruction, then even if he did not die, he would still have to shed a layer of skin. A protective armor automatically covered the body of this intermediate stage Soul Essence cultivator. At the same time, the space around him started to fluctuate, as if he wanted to escape from the range of the explosion at this moment. And at this moment, the huge black net above his head descended. This was Ning Cheng's underworld lock soul net, which he had snatched from Gui Yuhai. It was a best quality spiritual artifact. Ningqing dared to come here and compete with this intermediate stage soul essence cultivator, not only because he had a soul essence puppet, but also because he had calculated that his underworld lock soul net would be able to trap the other party for a few breaths of time. These few breaths of time were more than enough. At least until now, his calculations had not gone awry. The soul essence cultivator was anxious to escape from the range of the explosion, causing him to neglect the underworld lock soul net. The moment he was caught by the underworld lock soul net, this soul essence cultivator felt his heart turn cold. He had unexpectedly forgotten about the underworld lock soul net suspended above his head. If it were not for that female cultivator using the Heaven's Mandate neon glow lantern to bombard him a moment ago, then even if the opposite party's axe intent maelstrom doubled in size, he would never have made such a low-level mistake. Boom! A terrifying explosion set off a huge mushroom cloud. Countless sand and soil were turned into nothingness by this explosion. Liang Kersen, who was hundreds of meters away, could only barely summon her destiny neon glow lamp to block the aftermath of the explosion. Even so, she was still blasted away by the aftermath of the explosion. In the face of this terrifying power, she couldn't even be considered as a duckweed. After Ningqing burnt his true essence and spiritual consciousness to detonate the rank 6 soul essence puppet, he immediately stimulated the twin heavenly cloud wings to rush forward, while simultaneously bringing out his profound break spear. He had already seen that this intermediate stage soul essence cultivator had not died under such a terrible explosion. Soul essence cultivators were just too terrifying. Fortunately, at this time he was seriously injured, and was also trapped by the underworld lock soul net. Even if he wanted to escape, he would need a few breaths of time. Little bastard, I will grind your bones to ashes. After the explosion, the intermediate stage soul essence cultivator was the first to shout out in anger. However, at this time he did not look like a human at all. Half of his face had been blown off, while his entire body was covered in red and black. It was simply impossible to make out his original appearance. Buzz! A violent killing intent that made the heavens and earth colorless swept over. The violent killing intent seemed to tear the space apart. It came from the distant sky, but it appeared in front of him in an instant. Bursts of chills emerged in his heart. This intermediate stage soul essence cultivator unexpectedly forgot to break free from the underworld lock soul net. He even felt a kind of terror that could explode a planet, giving him an illusion that he could not resist. This was the murderous aura of heaven and earth. He could not move. No, this was not it. This was just a spear shadow that the opposite party had used to kill him. The intermediate stage soul essence cultivator was able to get rid of the suppression in the depths of his heart in the shortest possible time. Unfortunately, by the time he reacted, he was still trapped in the underworld lock soul net. By the time he came to his senses, the black spear shadow had already torn through all the distance and arrived in front of his glabella. Such a terrifying spear intent. The intermediate stage soul essence cultivator muttered. He had never seen this kind of spear intent before. This was definitely not a large accomplishment spear intent. This kind of spear intent was already close to being transparent, and was even able to stir up his mind. Puff! A blood arrow shot out, as Ningqing's profound break spear directly pierced through the glabella of this intermediate stage soul essence cultivator. Not waiting for his soul essence to dissipate, Ningqing's spiritual consciousness twisted. A shrill scream erupted, as everything around him returned to tranquility. At that moment, the surrounding space seemed to have turned gray, without even half a shred of vitality. All of the vitality had been completely destroyed by Ningqing's spear shadow. However, soon, the surroundings once again returned to their original state, as if the world was still the same. Ningqing staggered a bit, as the long spear in his hands trembled. Pata, a sound emerged, as the intermediate stage soul essence cultivator's body was just like a piece of garbage, as he threw it to the ground. He could already see that a crack had appeared on his profound break spear, showing that although he had a powerful move, but he did not have a powerful spear to support it. Ningqing took a few deep breaths as he held onto the spear shadow, as he instantly put away his underworld lock soul net, while simultaneously putting away the soul essence cultivator's ring and his magical weapon, as he threw out a fireball. before turning around to look at Liang Kursen. Junior apprentice Sister Liang, are you all right? Liang Kursen's mouth was wide open as she looked at Ning Qing sluggishly. That terrifying spear shadow a moment ago had almost taken away her mind. She had never thought that someone would be able to display such a terrifying spear shadow. Moreover, the one who displayed this spear shadow was a profound congealing cultivator. Even if she was very far away from this spear shadow, and even if this spear shadow was not aimed at her, but this spear shadow was filled with a terrifying killing intent. As such, it still tore a few holes in the clothes covering her chest. I'm fine. After a good while, Liang Kursen replied in a trembling voice. She had thought that after she started cultivating the spiritual planting cultivation method, she was already invincible in the same realm as her. Moreover, she had also thought that although Ning Qing was quite good, but at best he was about the same as her. Once she succeeded in cultivating the spiritual planting cultivation method, then Ning Qing would be far inferior to her. But at this time she finally understood, there was always a heaven beyond the heavens, and there would always be someone better than her. Not to say that they were almost the same, compared to Ning Qing. The difference was like heaven and earth. Even if she managed to cultivate the spiritual planting cultivation method to the large success realm, in front of Ning Qing, it was impossible for her to be invincible in the same realm. In the future, she absolutely could not afford to offend this person. Looking at his actions of snatching the ring and destroying the corpses, he did not know how many times he had done such a thing, so how could he be so skilled in such actions? It's all right, let's hurry up. I guess that there will be people coming over here soon. Ning Qing immediately spoke, while simultaneously bringing out an airship-type magical weapon. Half an hour later, Ning Qing and Liang Kursen were already far away from the place where the battle took place. Big brother Ning, I did not think that you would actually be able to kill a soul essence cultivator, it really is. Even after half an hour, Liang Kursen still could not believe it. Ning Qing gave a faint smile and spoke. I was able to kill that guy. I also had your help. Moreover, I also blew up a soul essence puppet. Otherwise, I certainly would not have been able to kill him. Besides, if we did not chase after him and not kill him, then what would be the point of chasing after him? Liang Kursen sighed. I knew that you had a trump card, but I still planned to escape. I did not think that your trump card would be so terrifying. That last spear almost took away my mind. That spear was really too terrifying. Ning Qing's mind once again replayed the scene that he had seen in the everlasting Blue Thunder City. That spear was really too terrifying. Unfortunately, that spear was not his spear. His spear, when compared to that spear, was not even a billionth of it. The person who had used that spear, just how terrifying was he? If this memory belonged to an ordinary person, then perhaps they would have already lost their fighting spirit to cultivate. But Ning Qing had the mysterious yellow bead, and was even more determined to go back to see his little sister. He not only did not lose his fighting spirit, but he also repeatedly honed the trajectory of that spear, and the killing intent within his mind. Ning Qing did not answer Liang Kursen. Rather, he took out a red-colored thing and handed it to Liang Kursen and said, This pure yang fire ginseng is real, although it did not really give birth to a ginseng spirit, but it is still a rank 9 spiritual grass. You also helped me in this battle, so this pure yang fire ginseng is yours. This is too precious. I did not put in much effort. I cannot take it. Although Liang Kursen really wanted this fire ginseng, if she had this fire ginseng, then she would once again be able to cultivate to the soul essence realm, and would have a greater assurance, but she also knew that her strength was limited. Ning Qing put the fire ginseng into Liang Kursen's hands and spoke, Since we acted together and you were also injured, then this fire ginseng is well deserved. Good, then many thanks, I really do need this fire ginseng. Seeing that Ning Qing was not hypocritical, Liang Kursen also no longer remained polite. Ning Qing, of course, was not hypocritical. This time he had killed that intermediate stage soul essence cultivator. He had made a huge profit. After erasing the restrictions on the soul essence cultivator's ring, he found that there were more than 10 million high-grade spirit stones inside. In addition to that, there were also a variety of Yixing Ocean's monstrous beast materials, spiritual grass materials piled up like a mountain. There were even 3 8-colored mirage stones. As for the few offensive and defensive magical weapons, Ning Cheng did not even look at them. He did not know if the soul essence cultivator had handed over all the mirage stones he had obtained, or if there were only 3 of them. But for Ning Cheng, this was more than enough. Big Brother Ning, now that we have offended the Mirage Gazing Island's deputy city master me, if we cannot join the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, then we must immediately leave this place. Liang Kursan knew that Ning Cheng had gained quite a lot this time, and was also worried that the Mirage Gazing Island would come knocking on their door. That is also true, but if you want to deal with me, then you must first ask the axe in my hands. After Ning Cheng finished this sentence, he immediately thought that his most powerful move was not the axe line, but rather his spear line that left no traces behind. This spear line was something that even he himself felt amazed by. It was truly a spear that came from beyond the heavens. Big Brother Ning should not be a devil cultivator, right? Liang Kursan asked as she recalled Ning Cheng's true cosmic devil axe, which contained a terrifying and tyrannical devil chi. Ning Cheng gave an N sound and spoke, I am not a devil cultivator. My axe was only refined from a piece of cosmic true devil metal, but because it was not refined to perfection, as such it was overflowing with devil chi. Liang Kursan hesitated for a moment, before she suddenly spoke. I think that Big Brother Ning's most powerful move was that last spear line. But although that spear line was powerful, but that spear line was not that great. That spear line let me see a trace of the Dao charm of a spiritual technique. That spear line was because my spear intent had reached a certain level. As such it was able to erupt with my spear technique. Ning Cheng spoke in a disapproving manner. He had never heard of anything called a spiritual technique. Liang Kursan shook her head and spoke. No matter how powerful a spear technique is, it is only in the category of magical techniques. Even if it is a heaven-grade magical technique, its power is also limited. The true killing moves of a powerful cultivator are not magical techniques, but rather spiritual techniques. Spiritual techniques? Ning Cheng finally understood. It seems that there were still many things that he did not understand. Chapter 259. The Rainbow Fall Sword Sect was one of the major academies of the Tian continent, although it was not a first-rate major academy, but it was still quite famous. In particular, the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's small spiritual domain was very famous throughout the entire Tian continent. Some of the great clans would even send their talented disciples to the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect. It was because the reputation of the small spiritual domain was simply too great. The Rainbow Fall Sword Sect had innumerable mountain peaks, with the main peak located in the depths of the sect. Moreover, there were also the immortal caves of the Grand Elders, the core disciples, the true inheriting disciples, and the various peak masters. Inner sect disciples also had their own cave abodes. However, the cave abodes of inner sect disciples were located in the outer region. Many inner sect disciples shared a common mountain peak. As for the outer sect disciples, they could only stay at the outermost perimeter. However, the most bustling place in the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect was the outermost area. This place was not only frequented by the cultivators from the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect, but even some of the surrounding families and small academies were willing to come here to trade. After a long time, this place had become a huge market, or even a city. The liveliness of the marketplace was not inferior to that of Luoling City. However, the largest place in the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect was actually the Rainbow Fall Sword Stone. That's right, it was a piece of stone. However, this stone was even bigger than those large squares. All the duels and competitions of the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect, the gathering of the entire sect's cultivators, and the series of disciple recruitment activities, were all held on this piece of stone. Therefore, although this stone was called the Rainbow Fall Sword Stone, it was also the public square of the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect. Is there such a big stone? Ning Cheng, who had already arrived at the periphery of the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect, on hearing Liang Kursan's explanation, couldn't help but ask in doubt. That's right, so this time the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's disciple selection will definitely be carried out on the Rainbow Fall Sword Stone. Liang Kursan replied. She and Ning Cheng had talked all the way here, and had thoroughly believed that Ning Cheng was a person who came from a grassroots background. There were a lot of basic things that he didn't understand. He only knew about them after listening to her explanation. So the Rainbow Fall Sword Stone should be the symbol of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, Ning Cheng said. In his opinion, since the Rainbow Fall Sword sect had such a huge Rainbow Fall Sword Stone, then the symbol of the sect would definitely be this stone. Liang Kursan directly denied it. No, the real symbol of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect is not this stone, but the Rainbow Fall Sword Peak. On the summit of the Rainbow Fall Sword Peak, there was a long sword inserted into the ground. This sword was called the Yonder Immortal Rainbow Fall Sword, and he heard that this sword was the true treasure of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. This sword suppresses the destiny of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, as such no one can move it. At the periphery of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect's incomparably huge makeshift market, the Rainbow Fall Sword sect's External Affairs Disciple Deacons building was filled with a sea of people. Ning Cheng and Liang Kursan came here, but even after squeezing for a long time, they still could not squeeze in. Junior apprentice Sister Liang, if it goes on like this, then 3 days later when the disciple selection begins, we would not even be able to register our names. We must think of a way. Ning Cheng pulled out Liang Kursan. Liang Kursan also said helplessly, if we squeeze here for 3 days, we should be able to register. Ning Cheng shook his head. Others can, but we can't. Don't forget what we've done. We can't stay here for too long. Wait, I see someone I know. Ning Cheng spoke as he quickened his pace to catch up with a young girl wearing a light blue robe. Senior apprentice Sister Hanrui, what a coincidence, to unexpectedly meet you here. The woman in the blue dress was stunned for a moment, but she immediately reacted. Not waiting for her to answer Ning Cheng's words, a young man standing beside her took the initiative to ask, Junior apprentice Sister Hanrui, who is this? Why haven't I seen it before? The woman in the blue dress gave a smile and spoke, he is a friend of Fu Xiaomei, we met in the Fu Ling Villa. Saying that, she turned to Ning Cheng and asked, why are you here? Aren't you together with senior apprentice brother Xiaomei? Right, I still don't know your name. So it's that sissy. The young man's mouth showed a trace of disdain, as he spoke in a light voice. Junior apprentice Sister Hanrui was really too easy to talk to. She did not even know the other party's name. It was obvious that they had only met once before. Ning Cheng glanced at this young man. With the cultivation of soul essence 5th level, no wonder he was so arrogant. At the same time, he could also see that these big academies were really something. Casually coming out of them were all soul essence cultivators. How could rogue cultivators and small academies mix around? Oh, I'm called Ning Cheng. I came here to participate in the Rainbow Fall Sword sect's disciple selection. This is my friend Liang Kursan. She is also here to participate in the Rainbow Fall Sword sect's disciple selection. Maybe we will soon become fellow disciples. Ning Cheng replied. He simply did not pay any attention to the young man next to him, not to mention taking the initiative to greet him. Hello, I'm called Sun Hanrui, a disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. Welcome. Sun Hanrui politely greeted Liang Kursan. Although she did not know much about Ning Cheng, but she was very clear about what kind of person Ning Cheng was. Don't look at the other party having the cultivation of profound congealing realm. Even if it was Fu Shengnan, she would still dare to close the door and shout fuck off. Hearing that Ning Cheng and Liang Kursan were here to participate in the Academy's disciple selection, the young man suddenly gave a smile and spoke. You made friends with that sissy little sister. Didn't you also want the other party to help you? How come you still want to participate in the disciple selection now? Ning Cheng raised an eyebrow. He did not even know this young man, so why was he still chattering here? Sun Hanrui was also aware of Ning Cheng's temperament. As such, she quickly stopped the young man's words, and spoke in front of him. Is there anything elder brother Ning needs my help with? She knew that for Ning Cheng to stop her, it was definitely not for something as simple as a greeting. There was definitely something that he needed her help with. As such, he stopped her. This Sun Hanrui was really too considerate, knowing that he was looking for her for something. Ning Cheng quickly cupped his fists and spoke in a blunt manner. Me and junior apprentice Sister Liang came a bit late. As such, it is difficult for us to register, so... I know, of course there is no problem. Sun Hanrui finished, and then spoke to the male cultivator next to her. Senior apprentice brother 1, I have something to take care of. You can go ahead first, I'll be back in a moment. The young man frowned, and then spoke to her. Junior apprentice Sister Hanrui, these two profound congealing cultivators are just here to register. Just let them take my identity card. Why do you need to personally make a trip? Saying that, the young man took out a very exquisite jade card and spoke. Take my jade card to register. After the registration, let the deacon deliver it to my immortal cave. Seeing that Sun Hanrui did not seem to be perfunctory with Ning Cheng, the young man did not continue to speak any harsh words, but instead took out his own jade card. Ning Cheng did not even look at the jade card. If Sun Hanrui was not willing to help him, then so be it. Sun Hanrui obviously knew about Ning Cheng's temperament, and quickly spoke up. Shengnan is my friend. An elder brother Ning is a friend of Shengnan's elder brother Xiaomei. I should be able to help you with this. I'll just go by myself. Many thanks, senior apprentice brother one. Saying that, Sun Hanrui gave a sweet smile to the young man, and took the initiative to lead Ning Cheng and Liang Kersen into the overcrowded Foreign Affairs Disciple Deacons building. Senior apprentice brother Wen's complexion was somewhat ugly to look at, but fortunately he did not know that Ning Cheng and Fu Shengnan had almost fought. If he knew about it, then he would not know what kind of expression he would have. Sure enough, it was easy to get things done. Sun Hanrui's face was obviously not low. As such, she simply did not need to line up, and directly entered a room on the top floor. As soon as she entered, an idle deacon inside took the initiative to stand up and greet her with a bow. In just a few minutes, Ning Cheng and Liang Kersen received a number card to participate in the competition, and received a copy of the rules of the disciple selection. This time the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's disciple selection was divided into two major categories. The first category was the spiritual root qualification selection, which did not look at one's cultivation. As long as one was under the age of 30, and had a better spiritual root, then one would have a higher chance of becoming an inner sect disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect, or even becoming a core disciple or a true inheriting disciple. The second category was for those with poor spiritual root qualifications, but possessed formidable strength. This kind of disciple must participate in the competition. However, they must also have the cultivation of profound core realm or below, and be under the age of 50. This kind of cultivator, after joining the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect, would receive a slightly worse treatment compared to the first category of cultivators, as they were mainly used to train some cannon fodder for the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect, as well as some of the people in charge of the industry. At the same time, even if they were eliminated from the first category, they could still participate in the second category. Ning Cheng and Liang Kersen both applied for the second category. Ning Cheng was well aware that his spiritual root was not good, moreover his spiritual root could change at any time. As for the second category of inner sect disciple, there was no need to test one's spiritual root, which was the best for Ning Cheng. Many thanks for Senior Apprentice Sister Sun's help, although my ability is low, but if Senior Apprentice Sister Sun needs my help in the future, I will definitely not refuse. Following Sun Hanrui out of the registration building, Ning Cheng spoke out in a very grateful manner. Sun Hanrui obviously did not take Ning Cheng's words to heart. She just gave a faint smile and spoke. Thank you, elder brother Ning. I still have something to do, so I will take my leave first. I live in the auspicious Cloud Peak. If elder brother Ning has any matter, you can always come to find me. Ning Cheng would not go out to look for Sun Hanrui. In case he met Fu Shengnan, then perhaps it might even lead to a fight. This senior apprentice Sister Sun is a good person. She definitely is a core disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect. I really did not think that you would know a core disciple. After Sun Hanrui left, Liang Kersen spoke with a sigh. Since she had seen Ning Cheng's ability, she did not think that Ning Cheng was not worthy of becoming friends with Sun Hanrui. With Ning Cheng's ability, becoming friends with Sun Hanrui was not a rare thing. Ning Cheng declined to comment. He had asked Sun Hanrui for help because he really had no other choice. Otherwise he and Sun Hanrui had only met once, plus his relationship with Fu Shengnan was still very stiff. It was simply impossible for him to take the initiative to ask for help from others. Let's go find a place to rest for 2 days. For these 2 days we will try not to show our faces. Liang Kersen also knew that at this time, it was not appropriate for them to stay outside. Wait. Ning Cheng suddenly stared at a huge poster not far away, as his complexion changed indeterminately. What's the matter? Liang Kersen quickly asked. Ning Cheng pointed to the huge poster and spoke. Tonight the Rainbow Fall Sword Sex Makeshift Market is going to hold an auction. There are things that I want inside. While speaking those words, Ning Cheng's heart unexpectedly started to palpitate as he looked at the poster with the jade strip that contained the possible locations for the geocentric Ninine essence to appear. Although it was not a direct sale of the geocentric Ninine essence, but the words geocentric Ninine essence made him somewhat unable to bear it. This was one of the two spiritual grasses related to whether he could return to Earth or not. Chapter 260. The scale of tonight's auction is not small, so there should be some people with high cultivation. If the things you want to buy are ordinary, then it would be fine, but if it is something precious, then I am afraid that it would not work. After the two of them found a rest stop, Liang Kersen spoke to Ning Cheng with some concern. Ning Cheng rubbed his forehead and spoke. Oh, I know, but this thing is too important to me. I'm going to change my appearance. Ning Cheng was also very clear in his heart. Even if he changed his appearance, at most he would only be able to make a few soul essence cultivators unable to see through him. Once he met a cultivator in the soul sculpting realm or above, then his appearance changing would not be of much use. Although Lan Shu had given him a mask, but this mask's grade was not very high. Liang Kersen showed a faint smile as she took out a pill and handed it to Ning Cheng and spoke. This is a form-changing pill. Not only can it temporarily change your appearance, but it can also change your aura. After you take the form-changing pill, and then change your appearance, even a crucible transformation cultivator would not necessarily be able to recognize you. Ning Cheng felt happy in his heart as he quickly took the pill, and immediately spoke out in shock. Level 7 pill? This thing is too precious. Ning Cheng was a grand master of alchemy. As such, he was not able to refine rank 5 pills, not to mention rank 7 pills. Since we're friends, of course we should help each other. I found a ruin, and this pill was obtained from that ruin. Besides, you're even willing to give me a level 9 pure yang fire ginseng. What does a level 7 medicinal pill count for? However, the effect of this pill can only last for up to 24 hours. After this time, the medicinal effect will automatically disappear. Liang Kersen replied in a serious tone. Good. Then many thanks, junior apprentice Sister Liang. Ning Cheng put away the pill. He knew that this thing would be useful to him. The Heavenly Stars auction house was one of the 3 major auctions in the peripheral makeshift market of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. As such, large-scale auctions were held quite frequently. At the auction reception area, there were all kinds of things being sent to be auctioned every day. Of course, the value of the items that could be auctioned at the Heavenly Stars auction house couldn't be too low. If it was too low, it wouldn't be qualified to come to this place. At the Heavenly Stars auction house, not only would there be detailed records, but there would also be a crystal ball given to the seller. If there was any unilateral breach of contract, the seller could copy the crystal ball and send it out at any time. Therefore, the reputation of the 3 major auctions on the periphery of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect had always been very good. Coupled with the large number of cultivators coming and going from the Rainbow Fall makeshift market, these 3 major auctions also grew bigger and bigger. Even in some of the other cities, they also had branches. Today's auction was not considered a big one for Heavenly Stars auction house. At best, it was only an above-average auction. Heavenly Stars auction house would hold this kind of auction once or twice a month. I have something to put up for auction, and would like to put it up for auction tonight. Ning Cheng walked into the reception of the auction house, and spoke out in a very direct manner. At this time, he had already changed his appearance to that of a middle-aged man with a black face, and had also taken an appearance-changing pill. A soul essence second-level cultivator saw that Ning Cheng only had the cultivation of profound congealing 3rd level, and did not move, but frowned and spoke. Tonight's auction will start in an hour. As such, you can only place your item in the auction at the end of the month. Ning Cheng did not refute, and just took out 2 jade bottles and placed them on the table and spoke. These are 2 bottles of spiritual enhancement true nectar. If Heavenly Stars auction house is willing to put it up for auction tonight, then I will put it up for auction here. If they do not agree, then I will change to another auction house. After saying those words, The imposing aura around Ning Cheng's body instantly rose up, as a powerful spiritual consciousness fluctuated out, causing this soul essence second-level cultivator to feel shocked in his heart. This person was definitely not a profound congealing cultivator, he was at least a soul essence cultivator, and the opposite party had concealed his cultivation. However, what shocked him the most was not that Ning Cheng had concealed his cultivation, but rather the things that Ning Cheng had taken out for auction. Even if Ning Cheng was a crucible transformation cultivator, he would not be able to act arrogantly in the Heavenly Stars auction house. But if Ning Cheng really took out the spiritual enhancement true nectar, then it would definitely be a good thing. Just based on the rarity of the spiritual enhancement true nectar, it was more than enough to make Heavenly Stars auction house agree to Ning Cheng's request. Spiritual enhancement true nectar? The soul essence cultivator quickly grabbed one of the jade bottles, and after opening it with his spiritual consciousness, he once again spoke up. It really is the spiritual enhancement true nectar. If you can't make the decision, then you can ask someone else. I will wait here. Ning Cheng spoke in a flat tone. Ning Cheng originally wanted to take out the exotic desolate extreme essence to sell, but considering that he might need to refine a long spear in the future, this thing was a very precious material. Moreover, he had a lot of spiritual enhancement true nectar, so it would not be a problem for him to sell a dozen barrels. I can make the decision. The soul essence cultivator put down the jade bottle in his hands, and spoke to Ning Cheng in an extremely serious tone. These 2 bottles of spiritual enhancement true nectar are very valuable, moreover the quantity is also not small. However, our auction house will take a 15% commission. Okay. But I also have a condition. I want to participate in tonight's auction, and will need a private box. Ning Cheng immediately agreed. For him, this was equivalent to collecting taxes. Of course, there is no problem. The soul essence cultivator, on seeing Ning Cheng, was very straightforward, also spoke in a polite tone. Saying that, he took out an entry jade card and handed it to Ning Cheng. Your room is number 178. You can enter the room with this entry jade card. After Ning Cheng received the jade card and thanked him, he thought for a moment before asking, "Excuse me, how much can a bottle of spiritual enhancement true nectar be sold for?" The soul essence cultivator pondered for a moment before speaking. In our auction house, a bottle of spiritual enhancement true nectar can be sold for at least 800,000 to 1 million spirit stones. So little? Ning Cheng repeated the sentence in surprise. He currently had 13 million spirit stones on him. The reason why he took out the spiritual enhancement true nectar for the auction was to gather enough spirit stones to purchase the whereabouts of the geocentric Ninine essence. He did not expect that the 2 bottles would only be sold for around 2 million spirit stones. This was really beyond his expectations. The soul essence cultivator at the reception gave a smile and spoke. Actually, this price is not a small one, considering the value of the things being auctioned tonight. These 2 bottles of spiritual enhancement true nectar are not very high. However, the spiritual enhancement true nectar is very rare. I heard that it is only available in the Le Continent's Law's Way. Therefore, if this kind of thing is auctioned, it would definitely be of some benefit to our auction house. Of course, if there are several cultivators who need this kind of thing at the same time, then the price would rise sharply. It would not be surprising for it to be sold for a few million spirit stones. Ning Cheng was surprised in his heart. He had originally wanted to take out some other things for auction, but after hearing the words of this soul essence cultivator, he immediately dispelled the idea. Not to mention that the spiritual enhancement true nectar that he had taken out was already very eye-catching. But the other party had already said that it was from the Le Continent's Law's Way. If he took out other good things, then he would definitely be listed as a key target. Besides, he did not have many good things. Compared to some of the powerful cultivators, he only had 3 or 4 good things. Understanding this point, Ning Cheng immediately said his goodbyes and left. Ning Cheng entered the Heavenly Stars auction house, and found the number 178. Only then did he come to know that his room was the worst among the boxes. Ning Cheng did not care about it. After all, the value of the spiritual enhancement true nectar was not as high as he had imagined. For someone to take out a box for him was already very good. The Tian continent's heaven and earth laws were more complete than the Lu continent's. As such, it was normal for the value of the spiritual enhancement true nectar to be lower. Besides, the number of soul essence cultivators in the Lu continent was not comparable to the number of soul essence cultivators in the Tian continent. As such, the spiritual enhancement true nectar was obviously much more useful to the lower-leveled cultivators. But it was not something that a random profound core cultivator could easily come up with 1,000,000 spirit stones. After Ning Cheng entered the box, he very carefully placed a few array formation restrictions on the box. The auction had not yet started. As such, Ning Cheng could only sit in the box and wait. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the cultivators participating in the auction had already entered the auction house. But Ning Cheng saw that Sun Hanrui had also entered the auction house. Together with her was the Soul Essence 5th level cultivator, who had ridiculed Fu Xiaomei for being a sissy. Looking at the expressions of the two people, Ning Cheng knew that they definitely wanted to buy something more important. After the time it took for half an incense stick to burn, a pretty-looking female cultivator walked onto the auction stage. She first cupped her fist towards the people around her, before she spoke. "Thank you everyone for participating in the Heavenly Stars auction. This auction is just like the past, and will certainly not disappoint the participants. Moreover, there is also a small surprise for tonight's auction. There is a thing that rarely appeared before, but will also appear tonight." "Good, let's not talk about the small talk. Let's start with the first thing." As this pretty-looking female cultivator finished, she suddenly raised her hand, and a thing the size of a longan fruit appeared in her hand. Chapter 261. This thing exuded a soft milky white luster, with a strong spiritual qi escaping from it. Even if one's spiritual consciousness swept over it, it would give one a comfortable feeling. Ning Cheng was too familiar with this thing. He had once obtained 7 of them, but he had already used them up. This was a best quality spirit stone. In general, in a spirit stone mine, the number of best quality spirit stones was limited. No one would use a theoretical comparison to exchange a best quality spirit stone for a high-grade spirit stone. This kind of thing simply could not be treated as a spirit stone. Everyone has seen this kind of thing a lot. Yes, this is a best quality spirit stone. I have a total of 5 best quality spirit stones here. The base price is 100,000 high-grade spirit stones, and each increment must not be less than 5,000 spirit stones. The pretty female cultivator presiding over the auction was still talking, but Ning Cheng had already decided to buy these 5 best quality spirit stones. Best quality spirit stones were very important to him, and he also wanted to go to the bottom of the Blood River in the future. Ning Cheng had already decided, in any case, before he obtained the best quality spirit stones, he would never go to the bottom of the Blood River. With the best quality spirit stones, even if that skeleton could not fulfill its promise, he could still walk away. 110,000. 120,000. Ning Cheng just thought about it, and the price of the best quality spirit stone immediately rose to 230,000. Moreover, the price was still rising, and the price soon reached 500,000. At this time, Ning Cheng realized that the base price of 100,000 and the price of the best quality spirit stones were worlds apart. The price soon approached 1,000,000, and when the price reached 1,000,000, the number of people bidding decreased. After all, no one was willing to use best quality spirit stones for cultivation, and the cultivators who bought best quality spirit stones were also just in case. But to spend a lot of high-grade spirit stones to purchase this kind of thing just in case, it was not worthwhile. 1,000,000. Ning Cheng directly added 100,000 on the base price of 1,000,000. After the price of the best quality spirit stones reached 1,000,000, there were not many people who directly added 100,000. Although best quality spirit stones were precious, but they could often be seen in major auctions, and could not be regarded as rare. Even if they could not buy it this time, they could always buy it next time. After Ning Cheng added 100,000, his heart was completely exposed. No one was willing to compete with a cultivator in terms of spirit stones, unless they had more spirit stones than they could spend. Sure enough, after Ning Cheng added 100,000, no one continued to increase the price, and Ning Cheng bought the 5 best quality spirit stones. Our second auction item is an artifact crafting material, Cosmic True Devil Metal. Many people knew the value of the true Cosmic Devil Metal. It was a supreme treasure for crafting artifacts. It could be used to refine Cosmic True Gold or Extreme Devil True Gold. Even if it was not refined, it could still be used as a top-grade material for refining. This true Cosmic Devil Metal's base price is 500,000 high-grade spirit stones, and each bid increment must not be lower than 10,000. As the pretty-looking female cultivator finished speaking, she picked up a fist-sized piece of artifact crafting material. The material exuded a faint demonic chi, which everyone could feel. Ning Cheng was secretly startled in his heart. This little bit of true Cosmic Devil Metal could be quoted at 500,000 spirit stones. Then the price it could sell for would definitely be much higher than that. Lan Shu had given him a piece of true devil metal that could be used to refine the Cosmic True Devil Axe. Just how much was it worth? Wouldn't that be hundreds of millions of spirit stones? The true Cosmic Devil Metal was obviously much more popular than the best-grade spirit stones. In just a few breaths of time, the price had soared to 3 million high-grade spirit stones. Ning Cheng sucked in a mouthful of cold air. He knew that he owed Lan Shu a huge favor. It seems that he would not be able to casually take out the Cosmic True Devil Axe in the future. In case someone realized that this was the true Cosmic Devil Metal, then it would be equivalent to using a golden knife to fight with people. Finally, this piece of true Cosmic Devil Metal was bought for 4.2 million high-grade spirit stones, causing Ning Cheng to feel that the value of the true Cosmic Devil Axe was even higher. Subsequently, the Soul-Chasing Illusion Loop, Scarlet Heaven Flying Scorpion Pagoda, Heaven Wave Needle and other magical weapons appeared. Each of them had a price of more than 500,000 high-grade spirit stones. The most expensive Heaven Wave Needle was even sold for a price of 1.3 million spirit stones. On the contrary, materials and spiritual grasses did not appear much. It could be estimated that the auction house knew that it was not cost-effective to auction spiritual grasses and materials separately. Only by refining these spiritual grasses and materials into pills and magical weapons would they be able to sell for a high price. After Ning Cheng bought 5 best-grade spirit stones, he did not make another move. Now we are going to auction what I mentioned before. It is something that has rarely appeared before. The pretty-looking female cultivator spoke while holding up a jade bottle. I heard that this kind of thing only appears in the Le Continent's Law's Way, which is also known as the Pseudo-Heaven's Way. It is a good thing for people to comprehend the laws of heaven and earth, as well as to comprehend the Tao charm. For the cultivator friends who have been stuck in a certain realm for many years, after obtaining this kind of thing, they might be able to break through in an instant. The pretty-looking female cultivator's words had not yet finished, when the auction hall immediately turned noisy. Anything that could allow one to break through in their cultivation was definitely a top-quality thing, and was definitely a treasure without a doubt. Everyone please calm down. Many of you have already guessed what I am talking about. That's right, it is indeed the Spiritual Enhancement True Nectar. Of course, the Spiritual Enhancement True Nectar cannot guarantee that you will have a 100% chance of breaking through, because this is not a spirit pill, but rather a kind of spiritual liquid. If you think that your ability to comprehend is good, then you can make your move. Of course, if you think that your ability to comprehend is just average, then buying it would be tantamount to a waste. Then you can just wait for us to bring out the next good thing. This female cultivator presiding over the auction was very good at speaking. With just a few words, she was able to stir up the emotions of everyone. Except for a few people, no one felt that their ability to comprehend was worse than others. The people who came here to participate in the auction were all people with a certain level of cultivation. Without a certain level of perception, how could they cultivate to a certain degree? The starting price of this bottle of Spiritual Enhancement True Nectar is 1 million spirit stones. The minimum bid increment must not be less than 50,000. Hearing the price quoted by the female cultivator, Ning Cheng was truly a bit surprised. He had asked the Soul Essence Deacon at the reception, but he was told that the value of this bottle was only a few million spirit stones. But now that the starting price was already 1 million, the final price would definitely not be low. 1 million. 2 million. 9 million. Ning Cheng was pleasantly surprised. that the price of this bottle of spiritual enhancement true nectar quickly climbed to 1.9 million. Moreover, the price was still rising. He had such a large pool of spiritual enhancement true nectar in his ring. Just how much wealth was this? However, Ningqing quickly put aside this idea. The rarer something was, the more precious it was if he took out a large pool of it. Regardless of whether it was realistic or not, maybe the final price of this bottle of spiritual enhancement true nectar would only be 100,000 spirit stones. Finally, this bottle of spiritual enhancement true nectar was bought for a price of 5.2 million, causing Ningqing to be overjoyed. It indicated that he had earned more than 4 million spirit stones. If he added the other bottle, then his income would reach more than 8 million spirit stones. Sure enough, the second bottle of spiritual enhancement true nectar was once again sold for 5 million spirit stones, which made Ningqing feel much more assured in his heart. He now had a base of 20 million spirit stones. As such, buying a place where the geocentric Nining essence would appear, it should not be a problem, right? Ningqing had already decided to buy this thing and immediately leave. If not for the geocentric Nining essence, he simply did not want to participate in this kind of auction that he was not qualified to participate in. The next item is an artifact crafting material. Moreover, it is a top-grade material for crafting flight-type magical weapons. Everyone, please take a look at these two feathers. The pretty-looking female cultivator spoke as she held up two silver feathers that were 3 feet long and half a foot wide. The two feathers in her hands exuded a faint luster. It was as if they were an incomparably light world, as they fluttered in her hands. A burst of exclamations spread out. It was obvious that many people knew what these feathers were. Ningqing was also amazed, and even felt a little excited in his heart. Although he did not know how to craft artifacts, it did not mean that he did not know what it was. Over the years, he had seen a lot of jade strips that introduced all kinds of materials. Moreover, he himself was also a talisman grandmaster. These silver feathers could be used to craft talismans, and were also a first-class material. Ningqing was excited. It was absolutely not because this thing could be used to craft talismans, but because he knew that this feather belonged to a kind of flying phoenix. This kind of flying phoenix was called the taintless flying phoenix. The top-grade taintless flying phoenix had 2 main feathers on its body. These 2 main feathers were silvery white in color, and were called the taintless silver wing feathers. The pretty-looking female cultivator on the stage was holding up the main feather of the taintless flying phoenix, the taintless silver wing feathers. The speed of the taintless flying phoenix was incomparably fast, and was simply difficult to catch. The main feather of the taintless flying phoenix was even more priceless. The main feather of the top-grade taintless flying phoenix could be used to craft a very high-quality flight-type true artifact magical weapon. Moreover, for Ningqing, these 2 taintless silver wing feathers also had another use, which was to allow his twin heavenly cloud wings to advance. Regarding the introduction of the twin radiant heavenly cloud leaves, Ningqing did not know much. He only knew that these 2 leaves could be refined into the twin heavenly cloud wings, and could even be upgraded. As for the level of the twin heavenly cloud wings, Ningqing was not very clear about it. But there was one thing that Ningqing was sure of, that was that the twin heavenly cloud wings introduction of 1,000 miles in a flash was absolutely not false. But his twin heavenly cloud wings, compared to the 1,000 miles in a flash, was still too far away. If he could obtain this pair of taintless silver wing feathers, then he could then think of a way to help his twin heavenly cloud wings to advance. How good would that be? Before he came to the auction, he did not know that there was such a feather being auctioned. It seems that the poster outside only had a few rare things written on it. This is a pair of taintless silver wing feathers. These are the 2 main feathers of the taintless flying phoenix. The value of the taintless silver wing feathers must be very clear to the friends sitting here. Even if you add a piece of taintless silver wing feathers to any flight-type magical weapon, the grade and speed of the flight-type magical weapon would immediately rise by several levels. What's more, here is a pair of... The pretty-looking female cultivator showed a charming smile. Everyone please be quiet. This pair of taintless silver wing feathers has a base price of 5 million spirit stones. Each increment must not be less than 100,000 spirit stones. Now start the bidding. I bid 6 million. This pair of taintless silver wing feathers I must. A strong voice abruptly appeared. If the previous auction was still going on without any waves, and there was no fighting or petty tricks, then when this pair of taintless silver wing feathers came out, it immediately changed the situation. 5 million. This strong voice obviously did not scare off the others. In just a breath of time, someone interrupted his words and quoted a price. Chapter 262. 7 million. 7 million spirit stones. Ning Cheng heard it very clearly. The voice that called out 7 million spirit stones belonged to Sun Hanrui. He gave a dark sigh in his heart. The big academies were much better. They simply did not need to hide their heads and show their tails, and could directly quote the price. Finally, even if they managed to obtain it, no one would dare to go to the academies. The taintless silver wing feathers were too important to him. If he could purchase these 2 taintless silver wing feathers, then he would be able to have countless opportunities to save his life in the future. At the same time, Ning Cheng was also clear, with his current net worth, wanting to purchase the taintless silver wing feathers was simply impossible. According to this price, this pair of taintless silver wing feathers would soon break through the 10 million spirit stones mark. Wealth comes from danger. If one did not take the risk, then one would not be able to obtain this pair of taintless silver wing feathers. Thinking of this, Ning Cheng pressed the call button in the booth. In the Heavenly Stars auction booth, there was a temporary call button. Once a cultivator came across a good thing, but their spirit stones were not enough, they could press this button. After this button was pressed, someone from the auction house would immediately come to contact them. At this time, you could use your own things as collateral to borrow the spirit stones from the auction house, but most of the cultivators would sell their own things to the auction house in exchange for spirit stones. Because of this button, every year the auction house would bring in hundreds of millions of spirit stones in extra income. After Ning Cheng pressed the button, in just a few breaths, a charming young woman arrived at Ning Cheng's booth. This young woman gave Ning Cheng a bow and spoke in a soft voice. "May I ask how the Heavenly Stars auction house can help you?" Ning Cheng clenched his teeth and directly took out 10 bottles of Spiritual Enhancement True Nectar and said, "These are 10 bottles of Spiritual Enhancement True Nectar. How many spirit stones can you give me?" When the young woman saw the 10 bottles of Spiritual Enhancement True Nectar, she immediately froze, but she quickly reacted, and then spoke again. "Please wait a moment." She only stood there for a moment before she once again spoke to Ning Cheng, 30 million spirit stones. Apparently she had already obtained the reply from above. "So ruthless, ah," Ning Cheng said in his heart. Something worth 50 million spirit stones was suddenly reduced by 20 million. Even so, Ning Cheng did not hesitate for even half a moment, and directly nodded, "Deal." Ning Cheng did not take out the mirage stones. This thing was too sensitive. Once he took it out, then perhaps even the auction house would investigate him. After the young woman left, the price of the taintless silver wing feathers had already risen to 17 million spirit stones. Moreover, the price was still rising, and there was no sign of it stopping. It could be seen that a good flight-type magical weapon was very important to all cultivators. The price continued to rise. Ning Cheng waited for a while, before the price finally reached 24 million. Ning Cheng did not hear Sun Hanrui's voice. Even if she was a core disciple of a top-ranked academy, the amount of spirit stones she had on her was also limited. Sun Hanrui did not continue to bid. It was definitely because she did not have enough spirit stones on her. 25 million. Ning Cheng bid for the first time. With the preciousness of the taintless silver wing feather, at this time, there were only a few people who were bidding for it. Ning Cheng's abrupt entry into the competition immediately attracted the attention of the entire auction venue. Countless spiritual consciousnesses swept over. However, these spiritual consciousnesses were blocked by Ning Cheng's restrictions. As for forcibly breaking the restriction to see who Ning Cheng was, no one had done it yet. In the Heavenly Stars auction house, whether it was the original restrictions of the auction house, or the restrictions set up by the guests themselves, if someone forcibly broke the restrictions of the room, it would be equivalent to looking down on the auction house. Then you would have to face the accountability of the Heavenly Stars auction house. This kind of responsibility was not something that an ordinary cultivator could afford. Humph. A cold snort arrived and then this voice spoke. I bid 26 million spirit stones. I really want to see whose price is higher than my Aoyang province's. There was no obvious threat, but the threatening tone of the voice was undoubtedly exposed. In the Heavenly Stars auction house, as long as one did not speak any obvious threatening words, then no one would care about you. Although this cultivator's threat was blatant, but he did not say anything about who had a higher price than him, or who was courting death. The auction house would not care about such a thing. Ning Cheng had already heard this voice. It was the first person who had bid 6 million, and had even said that he must have the taintless silver wing feather. Originally this person was called Aoyang Province. Ning Cheng did not know this Aoyang Province, but since this person dared to speak in such a manner, it was obvious that he had some confidence in himself. 27 million. A lazy voice simply did not care about the threat of this Aoyang Province, and did not hesitate to increase the price. At this point, the price was no longer increasing by 100,000, but rather increasing by 1 million. 28 million. Ning Cheng immediately increased the price, now that he had enough spirit stones on him. Wanting to use threats to make him give up on the taintless silver wing feather was absolutely impossible. However, Ning Cheng also had a bottom line in his heart. Once the price exceeded 40 million, then he would take the initiative to give up. He had already exposed the fact that he had a large amount of spiritual enhancement true nectar on him. If he continued to expose other things, then it would definitely not be a good thing. Interesting. After the lazy voice said that it was interesting, it did not continue to increase the price. 30 million. The voice from Aoyang Province once again arrived, but this time it was not a threat, rather it was filled with intense anger. It was obvious that regardless of whether Ning Cheng bought this taintless silver wing feather or not, he had already offended this person. Ning Cheng had already thought about it. Once he obtained the taintless silver wing feather, how could he even put the threat from the Aoyang Province in his eyes? He even dared to kill Gui Yuhai of the Gui Yuan city. Moreover, the Gui Yuan city had the existence of a crucible transformation cultivator. That Aoyang Province was even more powerful, but he was not a crucible transformation cultivator. In order to improve his own strength, what else would he not dare to do? 35 million. Ning Cheng simply ignored the angry voice from the Aoyang Province, and continued to increase the price. 32 million. But this friend just increased the price by 55. It really is boring. If you can't afford it, then don't buy it. If you want to buy it, then the price increase would always be less than others. Don't you feel ashamed of yourself? You might as well go home and ask your wife for a few more spirit stones, and then come here to bid. This time the one who increased the price was the lazy voice. He not only directly increased the price by 1.5 million, but also squeezed out Ning Cheng and the Aoyang Province. His words were incomparably unpleasant to hear. Everyone knew what he meant, but the people who loved their face would still be squeezed out by him. The Aoyang Province was a person who loved his face. Moreover, the price had already reached such a degree. It had already reached the bottom line that he could bear. If he wanted to increase the price, then he would have to increase it by at least 1.5 million spirit stones, bringing the total price to 33.5 million. Otherwise he would just be making a fool of himself. The anger in the bottom of the Aoyang Province's heart was rising an inch at a time. The reason why he signed up to threaten Ning Cheng was because he had some fame. If he increased the price by a little in front of so many people, then his reputation of making a fool of himself would definitely spread out. While the Aoyang Province was hesitating for a moment, Ning Cheng immediately made a bid. What this old man said is right. Adding a little bit of spirit stones each time really is a disgrace. I bid 40 million. Alas, since I have already come to this auction, why would I want to make a fool of myself? As soon as Ning Cheng's bid came out, it immediately caused a sensation in the entire auction venue. This time he increased the price by 8 million spirit stones. If he did not want to make a fool of himself, then the next bid would be at least 48 million. If he wanted to be able to hold his head high, then he would have to bid more than 50 million. The Aoyang Province gave a stuffy snort. As he clenched his fists, he could not wait to immediately rush towards Ning Cheng and that lazy-looking kid's room, and blow up the other party's booth. and then pick up these two kids and tear them apart. But even if he had 10,000 guts, he would not dare to do such a thing in the Heavenly Stars auction venue. Good, you have guts. That lazy voice no longer had that lazy tone from before. After he spoke those words, all the people knew that the auction of the taintless silver wing feathers, the winner of booth 178 was the booth. How many spirit stones do we have left? In a booth that was several times more advanced than Ning Cheng's booth, a fair-skinned, quiet-looking middle-aged cultivator asked in a cold voice. Senior apprentice brother 1, we still have 42 million spirit stones. Do you want to continue to increase the price? A male cultivator sitting next to this quiet-looking middle-aged cultivator quickly spoke up. The quiet-looking middle-aged cultivator waved his hand and spoke. No need. Continuing to increase the price would only bring disgrace to oneself. In a moment you can go and find out who this person is. He is very arrogant. He is even more arrogant than that Aoyang province. The middle-aged cultivator's heart was stuffy with anger. He did not think that he would lift a stone and smash it on his own feet. He was sure that even if he increased the price to 42 million spirit stones, he would still not be able to buy the taintless silver wing feathers. Later on he would not be able to continue to compete. Instead he would be even more ridiculed by the people. Unsurprisingly, a pair of taintless silver wing feathers was delivered into the hands of Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng suppressed the excitement in his heart, and did not immediately look at this pair of taintless silver wing feathers. He was still a bit worried in his heart, in case because of bidding for this pair of taintless silver wing feathers, he would not have enough spirit stones to buy the jade strip. Then it would really be bad for him. The pretty-looking female cultivator smiled. Just a moment ago the taintless silver wing feathers were sold for 40 million high-grade spirit stones. This was definitely a sky-high price. A moment ago the pair of taintless silver wing feathers was obtained by the elder brother from booth 178. The whole process was very wonderful. Congratulations to this elder brother. This elder brother immediately threw out 40 million spirit stones. It really is a heroic spirit that soars to the sky, and is incomparably powerful. We also hope that this kind of wonderful auction will continue to appear. The next item that we are going to take out for auction is a jade strip. The pretty-looking female cultivator did not seem to know that her words not only made the other two people even more ashamed and angry, but also helped Ning Cheng to draw even more hatred. Chapter 263. When Ning Cheng heard the words jade strip, his heart immediately tightened. He guessed that this was definitely the jade strip that he wanted. As for the provocative words of the pretty-looking female cultivator, who presided over the auction, how could Ning Cheng not understand it? He simply did not take it to heart. Besides, even if he took it to heart, he would not be able to do anything to that female cultivator. The meaning behind this female cultivator's words was to tell others not to be cowards during the auction, and to obtain more benefits for the auction. As for Ning Cheng's life or death for her, it was not even worth mentioning. This jade strip has already been written on the poster. That's right. It is the whereabouts of the geocentric Nine essence. The geocentric Nine essence can be said to be one of the top spiritual objects. This is the condensation of the dissipated soul essence, a supreme treasure that can repair the soul. It is not an exaggeration to say that it can even bring the dead back to life. In the Yixing mainland, there are a lot of spiritual grasses that can repair a cultivator's soul essence. But these spiritual grasses and pills are far from being comparable to the geocentric Nine essence. When the pretty-looking female cultivator spoke till here, the entire venue turned silent. It was obvious that many people knew that the geocentric Nine essence was extremely precious, but in the end, the reason why the geocentric Nine essence was so precious, many people did not know. As if she knew that the others were listening to her explanation, the pretty-looking female cultivator's tone became even slower. Many of the spiritual grasses that can repair the soul and life essence have a certain degree of damage to the cultivator's life essence. Moreover, turning the spiritual grasses into pills is not a simple matter. But the geocentric Nine essence is not in this category. No matter how long you have fallen, as long as your soul essence still exists, the geocentric Nine essence can slowly repair itself. There is no time limit. There is no degree of damage. This is a treasure that goes against the heavens. Sure enough, after learning about the heaven-defying nature of the geocentric Nine essence, a burst of discussion broke out. Ning Cheng also gave a dark sigh in his heart. No wonder that Skeleton wanted the geocentric Nine essence. It seems that not only did he not have a corporeal body, even his soul essence was only a trace. Other people only had a trace of their soul essence left. There was no such thing as the huge heaven-opening talisman. Thinking of this, Ning Cheng suddenly remembered another fellow. It was Fang Jian who he had met in the Mingot Sea. Fang Jian also only had a trace of his soul essence, but this fellow used the soul-nourishing wood to nourish his soul essence. It seems that he was not a simple person. Of course, what we are going to auction today is not the original geocentric Nine essence, but rather a jade strip. This jade strip records the possible locations where the geocentric Nine essence might appear. As for the authenticity of the location, my auction house is not responsible for it. Besides, even a single drop of the geocentric Nine essence is a priceless treasure. In case we can obtain a few drops, I think. Well, I see that everyone is in a hurry, so I won't say any more idle words. This jade strip will now be auctioned off. The base price is 100,000 high-grade spirit stones. Each increment must not be lower than 10,000. I bid 110,000 spirit stones. Just as the pretty female cultivator's voice fell, someone bid. After all, 100,000 spirit stones was not a lot. Everyone who could participate in the auction could afford it. 150,000 spirit stones. 170,000 spirit stones. This jade strip that recorded the whereabouts of the geocentric Nine essence was obviously very popular, as in just a short period of time, the price had already risen to 600,000 spirit stones. However, at this time, Ning Cheng had not yet made his move. Ning Cheng began to worry in his heart. He currently only had around 12 million spirit stones. With this kind of increase in the price, whether he could obtain this jade strip or not was another matter altogether. 1,300,000 spirit stones. 1,500,000. The price continued to rise. While Ning Cheng was still worried, the price had already broken through to 3 million. Ning Cheng did not continue to hesitate. 5 million spirit stones. Ning Cheng once again added 2 million spirit stones, causing the bidding voices to stagnate for a moment. Everyone knew that that fellow had come again. There were not many people who could come up with 5 million to bid for a jade strip. In fact, when the price reached 3 million, the people who were bidding were concentrated in a part of the booths. The elder brother who had just obtained the taintless silver wing feather has once again made his move. I really did not say anything wrong. This elder brother is very forthright. It seems that this geocentric Nine essence jade strip will once again fall into the hands of this elder brother. Today my Heavenly Stars auction house finally experienced what is called magnanimity. The pretty female cultivator who presided over the auction promptly added fuel to the fire. Ning Cheng was so angry that he couldn't help but curse in his heart. This father is very forthright with you, this slut. 5,100,000 spirit stones. A lazy voice once again called out the bid. Ning Cheng's heart sank. As soon as he heard this voice, he immediately knew who this person was. It was the same cultivator who had competed with him for the taintless silver wing feather, and ended up choking on his 8 million spirit stones bid. Seeing that this person had only added 10,000 spirit stones, Ning Cheng knew that he had already disgusted the other party a moment ago, and now the other party was deliberately disgusting him. This was most likely related to the words spoken by the female cultivator, who presided over the auction. But Ning Cheng was helpless in his heart. Even if that female cultivator was a bit worse, he could only stare at her. Unfortunately, Ning Cheng did not have many spirit stones on him. If he had, he would definitely beat this person to the ground. 10 million spirit stones. Ning Cheng directly added another 5 million spirit stones. This was the last time he would increase the price. If the other party still wanted to increase the price, then he could only withdraw. Even if he was not happy in his heart, who told him to not have any spirit stones. The auction venue once again erupted with noise, but at this time no one was willing to increase the price. Although the geocentric Nine essence was precious, it was only a jade strip. In case this jade strip was a fake, Then wouldn't it be crazy to spend more than 10 million spirit stones? Even if the jade strip was real, the geocentric 9 essence would not be easy to find. Otherwise, how could the auction house only sell jade strips? People would have already sent people to search for the geocentric 9 essence. For this jade strip to be able to sell for 3 million spirit stones, it was already the highest price in theory, but now the price had been inflated to 10 million spirit stones by these two madmen. The pretty female cultivator's face was like a blossoming flower, as she spoke in a provocative tone. This elder brother once again increased the price. This time he increased it by 949 million spirit stones. Being able to become this elder brother's Tao companion for dual cultivation is truly a happy thing. At least we do not need to worry about spirit stones for our cultivation. Even I am a bit moved by this elder brother. Now the price of the geocentric 9 essence jade strip has already reached 10 million spirit stones. 10 million spirit stones. But this price is not necessarily the highest, because this time my Heavenly Stars auction house is filled with powerhouses from all over the world. Maybe there will be even more heroic lords. We will just have to wait and see. 1 million spirit stones. The lazy voice once again called out a price. When Ning Cheng heard this voice, his heart completely sank. He knew that the spirit stones that he had prepared were indeed not enough. After purchasing the taintless silver wing feather, he was no longer able to compete for the geocentric 9 essence jade strip. Heavens, there is actually another lord who has bid more than 10 million spirit stones, even surpassing the elder brother who had just bid. I can't believe it. 10 million high-grade spirit stones. I do not know if this elder brother who had just won the taintless silver wing feather in such a heroic manner would continue to increase the price, but I believe that with this elder brother's courage, he would definitely continue to increase the price. We are just waiting for an even more hot-blooded price to come out. The pretty-looking female cultivator presiding over the auction spoke in an even more exaggerated tone. Even the people participating in the auction held their breaths, waiting for Ning Cheng to increase the price. All the people thought that Ning Cheng would definitely continue to increase the price. Even the quiet-looking cultivator, who bid 1 million, also thought that Ning Cheng would definitely put out a higher price. After a few breaths, a voice finally came out from the booth number 178. I really wanted to increase the price, but thinking that I had exposed too many spirit stones, and someone wanted to cry and shout to become my Tao companion, I just couldn't help but have goosebumps all over my body. But thinking about it, forget about it. Holding such a disgusting woman. How can I even sleep at night? After Ning Cheng's words came out, the entire venue fell into a brief silence, but soon broke out into bursts of laughter. Almost all the people understood who Ning Cheng's words were aimed at. There were no fools here. The pretty-looking female cultivator presiding over the auction had taken Ning Cheng as a spendthrift. She wanted to encourage Ning Cheng to continue to increase the price, and then become the fisherman who reaps the benefits. Unfortunately, the booth number 178 did not give her even a little bit of face, and directly spoke out those extremely ugly words. These words were obviously aimed at the female cultivator presiding over the auction. Previously, the female cultivator presiding over the auction had said that being able to become this elder brother's dual cultivation Tao companion was truly a happy thing. Even she was somewhat moved by this elder brother. The other party was immediately not willing to increase the price, but instead said that hugging such a woman to sleep would give him goosebumps. The face of the pretty-looking female cultivator presiding over the auction was suddenly covered with a layer of frost, and no longer had that kind of cheerful expression from a moment ago. She was also a famous figure in the Heavenly Stars auction house. Now that she was insulted in such a manner, how could she endure this kind of anger? As for whether or not she was the one who provoked Ning Cheng first, she had long since automatically ignored it. Perhaps in her subconscious mind, she was able to say such witty words, because she thought highly of the other party. Unfortunately, she just happened to meet someone like Ning Cheng who did not buy her words. Son of a bitch. In another booth, a seemingly very quiet middle-aged cultivator suddenly stood up, with an angry expression on his face. He did not think that Ning Cheng would actually not increase the price, as he simply did not want this jade strip. The reason why he was bidding was entirely to take revenge for the enmity of not being able to obtain the taintless silver wing feather, and to make Ningqing pay a few more spirit stones. Senior Apprentice Brother 1. I suspect that this guy is deliberately trying to disgust us, so after we increased the price to 1 million, he actually shrank back. Another cultivator next to this quiet middle-aged cultivator immediately spoke up. The quiet middle-aged cultivator's face had already restored its calm, as he waved his hand and spoke, but it's just a trivial 10 million spirit stones. I do not care about it. Number 178, haha, number 178. I bid 1 million spirit stones. Just when everyone thought that no one would continue to increase the price, unexpectedly someone once again increased the price. Ningqing was also very puzzled. He could hear that the lazy voice was deliberately targeting him. But who was this new bidder? Or was it an incomparably clear and crisp female cultivator's voice? However, no matter who it was, Ningqing did not intend to stay in this place. He stood up and left the booth without hesitation. This place was not a place to stay for long. Since he did not have the opportunity to obtain it, then he would have to wait until later. As for continuing to sell the good things in the auction house for spirit stones, Ningqing did not even think about it. Chapter 264. That person went out of the box. Moreover, Ao Yangzhou also went out. I still need to buy something. Go out and take a look. If the other party was a sea-opening realm cultivator, then he would temporarily remember his aura. If it's a cultivator below the sea-cleaving realm, get someone to tie down Aoyang province, and then get rid of him before Aoyang province. The quiet middle-aged cultivator did not continue to increase the price. Instead, he looked at the communication bead in his hand, and said to the male cultivator beside him, Senior Apprentice Brother 1, rest assured, I will definitely take care of this matter. Another male cultivator next to him immediately said with certainty, robbing my Aoyang province's things you want to leave? Aoyang Prefecture immediately knew that Ningqing had come out of the auction house. As such, he did not hesitate to leave the booth. Where is he? Ao Yangzhou walked out of the auction house and immediately asked. Senior, this junior didn't notice. A timid voice arrived. The one who spoke was a thin and small male cultivator standing not far from the Aoyang province. Aoyang State was enraged. From the time that cultivator came out until now, only a few breaths of time have passed. Yet you say you didn't keep an eye on him? My spirit stones are easy to earn, right? No, senior. That person activated an escape talisman as soon as he came out, and has already left the makeshift market. The skinny male cultivator quickly explained. After saying that, he took out a crystal ball and said, This is the image of this person's appearance. Listening to these words, Aoyang frowned. If it was a high-level escape talisman, then its price would definitely be more than 1 million spirit stones. However, other people might be reluctant to use the escape talisman. But this guy who bought the taintless silver wing feathers should not be reluctant to use it. Humph! Ao Yangzhou coldly snorted, as he used his spiritual awareness to feel around him. Then he suddenly grabbed the crystal ball, and at the same time his body flashed and disappeared. Ningqing's escape talismans came from Gui Yuhai. Moreover, the grade of these escape talismans were not low. The escape talisman was not something he could buy with his spirit stones, so he would not be reluctant to part with an escape talisman. Therefore, as soon as Ningqing came out of the auction house, he simply did not care if anyone chased after him, and immediately activated the escape talisman that he had already prepared in his hands. After the effect of the escape talisman disappeared, Ningqing knew that he was definitely not close to the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. The first thing he did was find a place to completely remove his disguise. Then, he summoned his flying magic treasure and quickly left. Ningqing had not returned to the rest stop for a day and a night, causing Liang Kersen to realize that Ningqing must have encountered some trouble. She did not know what kind of trouble Ningqing had encountered, but she was sure that if Ningqing encountered trouble here, then even she would not be able to help him. After waiting for a day, Ningqing still had not returned. Liang Kersen decided not to continue to wait, as she went to the Rainbow Fall Swordstone alone. Now that she had prepared everything, as long as she joined the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, It would be tantamount to completing her first step. Are you junior sister Liang Kursen? A pleasantly surprised voice sounded from behind Liang Kursen. Liang Kursen quickly turned around, and when she saw that it was Sun Hanrui, she quickly gave a respectful bow and spoke. So it was Senior Apprentice Sister Sun. Many thanks for Senior Apprentice Sister Sun's help, otherwise I would not have the qualifications to come to this sword stone. There were two other people besides Sun Hanrui. One was a young male cultivator, and the other was a female cultivator wearing a red robe. Liang Kursen had seen that male cultivator before. It was the young man who had walked together with Sun Hanrui a few days ago. Who is she? The red-robed female cultivator asked Sun Hanrui in a puzzled manner. She knew that Sun Hanrui did not have many friends, and even fewer friends had the cultivation of profound congealing realm. So how could she suddenly have a friend with the cultivation of profound congealing realm? Sun Hanrui quickly spoke. This is junior apprentice sister Liang Kursen. She is a friend of Ning Cheng. That's right, Ning Cheng and senior apprentice brother Xiaomei went to the Fu Ling villa together. Junior apprentice sister Liang, this is Fu Xingnan. Her big brother is a friend of Ning Cheng. Greetings senior apprentice sister Fu. Liang Kursen did not know about the twists and turns in this matter, but she knew that the reason why Sun Hanrui helped her and Ning Cheng was because of this Fu Xingnan's big brother. So when she heard that this female cultivator was the little sister of Ning Cheng's friend, she quickly gave a respectful greeting. Is it him? Fu Xingnan's face immediately turned ugly, and then she spoke in a cold voice. Do not try to get close to me, I have seen a lot of people like you. The man who had previously ridiculed Fu Xiaomei as a sissy, when he saw the expression on Fu Xingnan's face, he immediately knew that Fu Xingnan and Ning Cheng had some kind of gap between them, and quickly added a fire and spoke. That Ning Cheng and junior apprentice brother Xiaomei are acquainted with each other, and a few days ago stopped me and junior apprentice sister Hanrui, and even asked for junior apprentice sister Hanrui's help, in order to get 2 spots for the Rainbow Fall Sword. Sex disciple selection. I knew it, he really is shameless to the extreme. Fu Xingnan stared at Liang Kursen, and spoke in a sarcastic tone. Liang Kursen's pink face immediately turned red. Even her hands were trembling with anger, but she did not hesitate to take out the jade card and put it in the hands of Sun Hanrui and spoke. Many thanks senior apprentice sister Sun for helping me. Now I will return the jade card to senior apprentice sister. Sun Hanrui's face did not even change, and was still smiling, as she pushed the jade card back to Liang Kursen and spoke. Junior apprentice sister Liang, Ning Cheng is a good person, and is also a friend of mine Besides, you are also a friend of mine I helped my friend to get 2 jade cards, and now junior apprentice sister Liang still wants to return them to me. Are you looking down on this friend of mine? Liang Kursen had been wandering outside all year round. As such she obviously understood the meaning behind Sun Hanrui's words. The color on her face gradually faded, as she quickly spoke. Many thanks senior apprentice sister Sun. To be able to make friends with senior apprentice sister Sun, it really is an honor for me. I had thought that senior apprentice sister Sun had helped me because of someone else. If not, then I would feel relieved. Sun Hanrui once again gave a calm smile and spoke. You can rest assured, I was the one who helped you out of my own will. If you really feel that you owe me a favor, then you and Ning Cheng owe me a favor. Humph. Fu Xingnan on seeing that Sun Hanrui did not even give her face sank, as she turned around and walked away. It was obvious that her heart was already feeling uncomfortable. Sun Hanrui did not care about it, and just spoke to Liang Kursen. Come on, that's right. Why didn't I see Ning Cheng coming over? Oh, Ning Cheng went out to take care of some things, he might come back in a while. Liang Kursen quickly replied. Good, then you should strive to join the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. I'll be leaving first. Saying that, Sun Hanrui immediately chased after Fu Xingnan. The man at the Soul Essence 5th level who was with Sun Hanrui suddenly spoke up. This time junior apprentice sister Xingnan might really be angry. Sun Hanrui gave a faint smile and spoke. No, Xingnan's anger comes and goes quickly. Moreover, it is not the first time for her to act like this. Junior apprentice sister Hanrui. The fact is that those 2 profound congealing cultivators are simply not worth mentioning. Why would you want to make things difficult for your sister for them? The young man spoke with a smile in his tone. Sun Hanrui gave a faint smile, but did not answer the question of this young man. She and Fu Shengnan were just friends and sisters. If she had to consider the mood of the other party in everything she did, then she might as well not go out and cultivate. Her temperament was soft on the outside, but firm on the inside. As such, she would absolutely not allow external factors to affect her actions. So be it, I'll go and persuade Xingnan. The young male cultivator at the side of Sun Hanrui spoke out with a smile, as he also sped up his pace. Junior apprentice Sister Xingnan, Hanrui did not do it intentionally. Please do not take it to heart. That young male cultivator quickly caught up with Fu Shengnan, who was walking slowly. Fu Xingnan's face was still a little uncomfortable. Hanrui is really something. She obviously knows that I hate that guy, and yet she still helped me. As Fu Shengnan spoke till here, she suddenly thought of something, as she turned around and looked at the young male cultivator who had caught up with her and spoke. Senior apprentice brother 1. That Ning Cheng is going to participate in the disciple selection. Can you find someone to help me kill him? Anyway, it is going to be a match on the battle ring. Even if I kill him, no one would dare to say anything. You want to kill him? The young male cultivator also looked at Fu Xingnan in amazement, although he was not happy with Ning Cheng. But he only wanted to teach Ning Cheng a lesson, and had never thought of killing Ning Cheng. That's right, I must kill this guy. I really can't understand why Hanrui would want to help this kind of person. It really pisses me off. Fu Shengnan spoke in a very unreconciled tone. The young male cultivator suddenly smiled and spoke. An intermediate stage profound congealing cultivator. For me, he is just an ant. Since junior apprentice Sister Shengnan wants to kill this guy, then I will arrange it. I guarantee that he will finally disappear from this world in a just and honorable manner. Then many thanks, senior apprentice brother 1. Fu Xingnan immediately cast a gentle look in his direction. When Ning Cheng arrived at the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's Sword Stone, the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's disciple selection had already begun. On top of the incomparably huge sword stone, there was a dense crowd of cultivators. There were 30 battle rings erected in the middle of the sword stone, and each of the battle rings was surrounded by countless cultivators. It really is a sword stone that is even bigger than the public square. Ning Cheng spoke to himself in his heart. He really had never seen such a huge stone before. At this time, the sword stone was densely packed with people, and there were even people surging everywhere. There were several huge array formation displays erected in the most obvious positions. The array formation displays displayed the number of people fighting against each other, as well as which battle ring they were on. Ning Cheng did not dare to use his spiritual consciousness to sweep through the entire sword stone, as he knew that Liang Kursin would definitely come. His spiritual consciousness fell on the huge array formations display screen and quickly found his name. Number 3000 Ning Cheng versus number 631 Wu Zhuo, Battle Ring 9. Ning Cheng quickly squeezed his way to the edge of the Battle Ring 9. He did not dare to delay any longer. The array formation displays clearly stated that as long as one did not come onto the stage within the time it would take to drink half a cup of tea, then it would be counted as a negative. If both of them did not come, then both of them would be counted as a negative. On the Battle Ring 9, there were already 2 people fighting. Both of them were intermediate stage profound congealing cultivators. One was at profound congealing 4th level, while the other was at profound congealing 6th level. When Ning Cheng squeezed his way to the periphery of the Battle Ring 9, the profound congealing 4th level cultivator immediately activated a talisman towards the profound congealing 6th level cultivator. The profound congealing 6th level cultivator originally had the upper hand, but when he saw the profound congealing 4th level cultivator bring out a talisman, he also did not hesitate to bring out a talisman. The 2 talismans collided with each other and exploded, while the profound congealing 6th level cultivator, in the midst of this explosion, brought out a flying needle. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness was very powerful. As such, he could clearly see that the profound congealing 4th level cultivator was plotted against by this flying needle, causing him to instantly fall onto the battle ring, and it looked like he was about to die. Ning Cheng secretly thought in his heart. This thing was somewhat similar to the 7 Pleiades ice needle that he had used before. Number 913 Yin Yong wins. Next is number 3000 Ning Cheng against number 631 Wu Zhuo. The cultivator presiding over the battle ring immediately called out. Chapter 265. When Ningqing heard his name being called, he immediately rushed onto the stage. He was already fast enough, but there was someone even faster than him. A yellow-robed male cultivator, just like a shadow, flew ahead of him and landed in the middle of the 9th battle platform. Number 3000's luck is really bad. He actually met Wu Zhuo. Even if he did not meet Wu Zhuo, relying on his intermediate stage profound congealing cultivation, it should be very difficult for him to advance, right? After Ningqing and Wu Zhuo came onto the stage, some of the cultivators in the audience who knew Wu Zhuo started to whisper to each other. Seeing that the two of them had already stepped onto the stage, the cultivator presiding over the 9th battle stage lazily called out, "Begin." When the yellow-robed cultivator heard that the match had started, he did not even say a single word. Instead, he directly brought out a cyan-colored thunder shovel and smashed it towards Ningqing. Moreover, with the overflowing true essence, the imposing manner brought about by the magical weapon was incomparably powerful. Even the restrictions covering the battle stage were being bombarded by it. This kind of imposing manner was far beyond that of ordinary profound congealing cultivators. Ningqing was very puzzled in his heart. The opposite party was a cultivator at the great circle of the profound congealing realm. According to reason, if a cultivator at the great circle of the profound congealing realm wanted to defeat him, a cultivator at the profound congealing 7th level, wouldn't he need to go all out? This idea only flashed slightly in Ningqing's mind, before he did not continue to care about it. He had even killed a soul essence cultivator, although he had relied on the self-destruction of a soul essence puppet, but he had still managed to kill a soul essence cultivator. A profound congealing cultivator and a soul essence cultivator were worlds apart. Moreover, there was even a profound core realm between them. Even if the other party was twice as strong, he still wouldn't take them seriously. Bringing out the profound break spear, he only brought out a simple spear pattern, which was able to block the berserk imposing manner of the blue-colored thunder shovel. If Ningqing wanted to kill this yellow-robed cultivator called Wu Zhuo, then as long as his profound break spear continued to roll up his spear intent, it would be able to bind the opposite party's cyan-colored thunder shovel. Then he could casually use his fists, or use the profound ice spear technique, or even use some other methods. He could easily kill Wu Zhuo. There was no need for a second move. Ningqing did not intend to kill Wu Zhuo. Everyone was here to participate in the disciple selection. As such, there was no need to use such a heavy hand. After using his profound break spear to block the blue-colored thunder spade that was spreading across the battle ring, it immediately came to a stop. In Ningqing's view, as long as Wu Zhuo was not a fool, he would definitely take the initiative to admit defeat. But what Ningqing could not figure out was that not only did Wu Zhuo not admit defeat, the blue thunder shovel crazily surged out bursts of murderous aura. After blowing away Ningqing's spear pattern, it turned into a blue thunder line that smashed towards Ningqing's glabella. It seemed that he knew that this blue-colored thunder line might not be able to kill Ningqing, as Wu Zhuo raised his hand and unexpectedly took out 2 talismans, while simultaneously stimulating the talismans in his hands. Ningqing himself was able to refine rank 5 talismans, so when Wu Zhuo took out the 2 talismans, he immediately knew that they were rank 5 talismans. A rank 5 talisman was enough to kill a profound congealing cultivator, not to mention 2 of them. Not only did this person want to defeat him, but he also wanted to kill him. Ningqing instantly came to understand. No wonder Wu Zhuo's attacks were so crazy. It was because of this that he had to hold himself back. If it was before, then Ningqing did not intend to kill Wu Zhuo, but after knowing that Wu Zhuo wanted to kill him, he did not hold back even for half a moment. Powerful true essence stirred up in an instant, and the talisman in Wu Zhuo's hand that was about to be activated immediately paused. During this gap, Ningqing's profound break spear had already shot out. That blue-colored thunder line, under the terrifying true essence of the profound break spear, directly collapsed, while the profound break spear's momentum did not slow down even for a moment, as it immediately cut through the distance between the two of them, before exploding on top of Wu Zhuo's glabella. Wu Zhuo could not believe it as he looked at the profound break spear that had already pierced through his glabella. while the talisman in his hand, which had already been activated by more than half, immediately dimmed down. He really could not figure it out. How could a profound congealing cultivator be powerful to such an extent? I do not want to kill you, but I will never let go of the people who want to kill me. If someone wanted you to kill me, then this person who asked you to kill me would want to borrow my hand to kill you. Ning Cheng's tone was filled with sarcasm. He really could not figure out why this person, whom he did not even know, would want to kill him. His last sentence was just a probe. He did not know if there was someone who asked Wu Zhuo to kill him or not. Wu Zhuo's pupils gradually enlarged, or perhaps it was Ning Cheng's last sentence that made him sober up, as he spoke in a disjointed voice. The one who gave me the talisman and asked me to kill you was Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's core disciple Wen Han. Putong. After saying this sentence, Wu Zhuo was no longer able to stand, as he directly fell down on the battle ring and died. The cultivator presiding over the tournament spoke in a flat tone. Contestant 3000 Ning Cheng wins. Next. Senior apprentice Brother Wen. That guy should have been killed, right? In the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's main hall, Fu Xingnan suddenly asked a young male cultivator beside her in a soft voice. That young male cultivator gave a faint smile. Junior apprentice Sister Xingnan, please rest assured, he is just a puny intermediate stage profound congealing cultivator. Wu Zhuo is famous for his fierceness in the Rainbow Fall makeshift market. Moreover, he is also at the great circle of the profound congealing realm. Coupled with the few rank 5 talismans that I gave him, for him to kill an intermediate stage profound congealing ant, it would be extremely simple. That's good. Thank you, Senior Apprentice Brother Wen. If this person is not killed, then my heart will always feel uncomfortable. Fu Xingnan gave a sigh. Even if Ning Cheng was killed, her heart would still feel some knots. A puny profound congealing ant unexpectedly dared to tell her, a soul essence cultivator, to fuck off. It was a pity that she could not kill this guy with her own hands. This is just a trivial matter. The young male cultivator called Senior Apprentice Brother Wen did not care about it and spoke out. Senior Apprentice Brother Wen. A slightly excited voice interrupted the young male cultivator's words, and then a male cultivator with a short stature anxiously walked over. When Senior Apprentice Brother Wen saw this male cultivator, he immediately gave a chuckle and spoke. So it is Junior Apprentice Brother Fu. Seeing Junior Apprentice Brother Fu smiling like this, it must be something good. Senior Apprentice Brother Wen, take a look at the 17th assignment that has just been issued. This male cultivator with a short stature pointed to the huge array formation screen in front of him and spoke. Fu Xingnan had already seen it, and spoke up in a somewhat surprised voice. The Great Liang True Country and the Northern Shang True Country are at war. Moreover, the war is so fierce. The junior apprentice Brother Fu, who had just arrived, immediately spoke up. Of course, the two true countries are now innumerable barren lands. The number of cities that have been destroyed is simply innumerable. As the cultivator surnamed Fu spoke until here, he lowered his tone a bit. This assignment definitely has great benefits. Moreover, the Great Liang True Country and the Northern Shang True Country are not under the jurisdiction of our Rainbow Fall Sword Sect, so why would our academy issue this assignment? Moreover, why would we send some Soul Essence disciples to take a look at it? Moreover, with the two true countries competing, what kind of great benefits would there be? Fu Xingnan spoke up in doubt. At this time, that senior apprentice Brother Wen also saw the academy's assignment, and was also somewhat puzzled. The cultivator surnamed Fu spoke up in a low voice. Senior apprentice Sister Xian has already signed up. Even senior apprentice Brother K has signed up. If there were no great benefits, then why would the true inheriting disciples sign up? Moreover, I heard that many of the major academies' true inheriting disciples and core disciples would also go there. This time the Great Liang True Country and the Northern Shang True Country are at war. It is definitely not simple. Is what you said true? Senior apprentice Brother Wen asked in an excited tone. He had been busy outside for the past few days, and had just returned to the academy. As such, he did not even know about this kind of news. He certainly knew who senior apprentice Sister Xian was. It was the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's #1 beauty, Luo Xian. Even in the Tiang continent, there was no one who could surpass her. At best they could only stand side by side with her. Not only that, Luo Xian also had the cultivation of the great circle of the soul essence realm, and was only a step away from the soul sculpting realm. As for senior apprentice brother K, he was one of the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's twin geniuses, Ke Hung Shui. Both of them had the same cultivation of the great circle of the soul essence realm, and possessed incomparably powerful strength. Even among the soul essence cultivators of the entire Tian continent, he was considered as one of the best. For two people like this from the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect to sign up at the same time, it definitely indicated that the war between the Great Liangtru country and the Northern Shangtru country was definitely not simple, and definitely involved some top-level good things. Let's also sign up. Let's go and ask junior apprentice Sister Hanrui. No matter what, I have to make a trip there. Senior apprentice brother Wen's eyes showed a trace of eagerness. I'll go call her, I also want to go. Fu Shengnan also spoke up with eagerness. Senior apprentice brother K was like a god in her heart. If even senior apprentice brother K would go, then how could she not go? Maybe she would even have the opportunity to team up with senior apprentice brother Quebec. After Ning Cheng easily killed Wu Zhuo, he participated in a few more fights, and was able to easily defeat his opponents. As such, he did not encounter any challenges. Other than Wu Zhuo, there were no other cultivators who wanted to kill him. He only defeated his opponents. Even minor injuries rarely occurred. The cultivator presiding over the 9th battle platform was very satisfied. He could see that Ning Cheng's cultivation was much more powerful compared to the average profound congealing cultivators. Moreover, this cultivator knew how to act appropriately, and was able to let people off easily. As for Ning Cheng killing Wu Zhuo in the first round, he was a soul essence cultivator, so of course he could see it with a single glance. It was that Wu Zhuo who wanted to kill Ning Cheng first, and Ning Cheng who wanted to kill him instead. A day quickly passed by, and Ning Cheng easily entered the top 300 ranks. After killing Wu Zhuo, he did not encounter any more trouble, causing Ning Cheng to feel very puzzled. Why did that when Han only sent a Wu Zhuo, and then there was no more news about him? How could he know that when Han simply did not put him in his eyes, to the point that he did not even bother to arrange a messenger for him? In Wen Han's view, Ning Cheng would die without a doubt, so why would he continue to pay attention to such an ant? This time the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect wanted to recruit 100 inner sect disciples, of which 70 had already been determined based on their spiritual roots and cultivation. Therefore, although Ning Cheng had entered the top 300, but he could only compete for the remaining 30 spots. Big brother Ning, I knew that you would definitely come. As soon as the match ended, Liang Kersen immediately came to find Ning Cheng. Junior apprentice sister Liang, I believe that we will soon be able to become inner sect disciples. Ning Cheng had already seen Liang Kersen's match. Liang Kersen had won even more easily than him. It can be said that entering the top 30 was not a problem at all. Liang Kersen carefully looked around, and then sent a sound transmission to Ning Cheng. Big brother Lin, I met Fu Shengnan before the match. After listening to Liang Kersen's words, Ning Cheng was already suspecting in his heart that senior apprentice brother Wen who wanted to deal with him was arranged by Fu Shengnan. Chapter 266. Although the inner sect disciple recruitment looked very lively, but Ning Cheng knew that the Rainbow Fall Sword Sect did not attach much importance to the inner sect disciple recruitment. One only needed to look at the entire process of the competition to know that there weren't many big shots appearing. However, this did not affect Ning Cheng's mood. His purpose was to join the inner sect, and then find an opportunity to enter the small spiritual domain to cultivate. The next day, Ning Cheng and Liang Kersen arrived at the Rainbow Fall Sword Stone early in the morning, ready to participate in the selection of the last 30 spots. This kind of competition was not even half a challenge for Ning Cheng. As such, he could compete however he wanted. Ning Cheng's first opponent was a tall male cultivator with the cultivation of profound congealing 9th level. This male cultivator obviously knew about Ning Cheng's strength, but at the same time he also knew about Ning Cheng's temperament. As long as they did not try to kill Ning Cheng, then no matter how they lost, they would still be safe and sound. Although he was feeling very depressed in his heart, as to how did he end up meeting this Ning Cheng, but he still cupped his fists and spoke. Chun Yu Zhen asked senior apprentice brother Ning to enlighten me. I also ask senior apprentice brother Ning to show mercy. Even if his cultivation was higher than Ning Cheng, he still addressed Ning Cheng as senior apprentice brother. Ning Cheng showed a faint smile. Well said, please start. After saying this sentence, Ning Cheng suddenly felt that something was wrong. A fierce gaze filled with killing intent fell onto him. His spiritual consciousness was incomparably powerful. Moreover, his Zifu and meridians were completely reshaped by the mysterious yellow origin. As such, this kind of killing intent simply could not escape his senses. Ning Cheng carefully swept out with his spiritual consciousness, and immediately saw 8 or 9 young men and women standing on the main platform watching the tournament below. At the same time, he also saw a few familiar faces, as he could clearly see Fu Xingnan's fierce gaze filled with killing intent. It's that woman again. I didn't expect her to come to watch the competition. In addition to this woman, there were 7 or 8 other people standing on the main altar watching the tournament. These young men and women were all soul essence cultivators. The 2 people with the highest cultivation were already at the great circle of the soul essence realm. Ning Cheng directly ignored Fu Xingnan. In his eyes, Fu Xingnan was just another passerby. What surprised him was that among this group of young men and women, there were 2 cultivators in the great circle of the soul essence realm, who were not older than him. As Ning Cheng saw this, he was even more yearning for the small spiritual domain. In his opinion, for the Rainbow Fall Sword sect to have so many young experts, it was absolutely inseparable from the small spiritual domain. At this time, Qin Yuzhen's attack was already fully unleashed. Ning Cheng had to carefully deal with it, and was not able to quickly defeat Qin Yuzhen. He could feel a few spiritual consciousnesses sweeping over him from time to time, coupled with the fact that he and Fu Xingnan had some kind of conflict. As such, he had to be more cautious. Also, Chen Yuzhen couldn't force him to use his trump card. Senior brother one, what's going on? How is this guy still alive and well? Fu Xingnan looked at senior apprentice brother one, who was not far from her, and asked, although she was somewhat dissatisfied in her heart, but she also did not dare to really question senior apprentice brother one. The cultivator surnamed one also frowned. I don't know, I gave Wu Zhuo several grade 5 talismans. It is reasonable to say that this fellow should not appear on the stage today. From the looks of it now, it was Wu Zhuo who was killed by him. But I saw that his attacks were only ordinary. How could Wu Zhuo lose to him? Fu Xingnan pursed her lips and did not speak. She decided that she would not ask anyone for help, and would rather do it herself. The cultivator surnamed one could also feel Fu Xingnan's dissatisfaction, as he gave a faint smile and spoke. It's just an ant, junior apprentice sister Xingnan, rest assured. This time I don't know what kind of trick he used. I will let him understand in the shortest possible time the consequences of offending junior apprentice sister Xingnan. Seemingly satisfied with the words of this cultivator surnamed one, Fu Xingnan did not say anything, and just nodded. Sun Hanrui, who was standing not far away, looked at the expression between the cultivator surnamed one and Fu Xingnan, as if she was lost in thought. The other few people were also watching the situation on the battle stage with rapt attention. It seemed that the fight between the profound congealing cultivators was very attractive to these few soul essence cultivators. Standing on the right side of the main stage were 2 female cultivators. One was wearing a purple robe, while the other was wearing a blue-colored floral robe. Senior apprentice sister Xian, look at that brown-robed cultivator on the 6th battle stage. He has the cultivation of great circle of profound congealing realm. Moreover, his attacks are very fierce and decisive, which far surpasses ordinary profound congealing cultivators. The one who spoke was the female cultivator wearing the floral robe. Senior apprentice sister Xian nodded and spoke. That's right, among these battle stages, this person should be considered as the most powerful one. You pay attention to him. If he is willing, then you can take him with you. How could he not be willing? This kind of opportunity does not come by often. The female cultivator wearing the blue floral robe giggled and spoke. What's more, if he saw senior apprentice sister's appearance, then maybe he would faint. He would definitely be thinking in his heart, where did such a beautiful fairy come from? Don't be so talkative, just pick 1 or 2 more. Senior apprentice sister Xian spoke in a bad mood. Ning Cheng's low profile soon caused the spiritual consciousness observing him to shift away. Even if someone occasionally swept over with their spiritual consciousness, it was only to observe the situation of his opponents. 30 battle stages were used to decide the top 30, moreover there was no round-robin tournament, as they only needed to take the first place on each battle stage. In just over half a day, the results came out. Ning Cheng obtained the first place on the 9th battle stage, while Liang Kersen obtained the first place on the 17th battle stage. Each of them entered the top 30, and became the inner sect disciples of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. To be able to obtain the first place on their respective battle stages, it was obvious that they were not simple people, as almost all of the 30 contestants had their own unique skills. Only Ning Cheng on the 9th battle stage was an exception. Although Ning Cheng won every match, but each and every match was won in a regular and ordinary manner. He had already regarded Fu Xingnan as a potential enemy. As such, he would never let Fu Xingnan see through any of his killing moves. Therefore, other than Ning Cheng on the 9th battle stage, the other contestants on the other battle stages had already been repeatedly evaluated. After the 30 disciples were selected, an old man with a long beard suddenly flew up and landed on the main stage of the battle stage. Even the young soul essence cultivators on the main stage, on seeing this old man come up, immediately gave way to the two sides. Ning Cheng, who was standing together with the other 29 selected cultivators, guessed that this old man should have some status in the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. After the old man landed on the main stage, he glanced at the 30 people and gave a satisfied nod before he spoke in a clear voice. First of all, I would like to congratulate the 30 geniuses who managed to obtain the top 30 positions. Congratulations on becoming the inner sect disciples of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. You will have your own immortal cave, and can even study the Tao laws of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. The Rainbow Fall Sword sect is one of the major academies of the Tian continent, and every time it recruits disciples, it would be very grand. Only this time it seems to be a bit rushed. In fact, this time it is not the time for the Rainbow Fall Sword sect to recruit disciples, but rather a temporary inner sect disciple recruitment. Seeing that there was a bit of noise coming from below, the old man used his hand to suppress the noise and spoke. But the inner sect disciples who are selected this time, perhaps you will get a benefit that you could not even dream of. Now I would like to invite all the selected inner sect disciples to enter the quest distribution hall. Ning Cheng suddenly had a bad feeling in his heart. He felt that he did not go all out this time, and what he did was not very correct. Big brother Ning, let's hurry up. Liang Kersen was very excited. No matter what, she was already a genuine inner sect disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. Ning Cheng and Liang Kersen followed a group of people to the quest distribution hall, and found that there were already a lot of people here. Ning Cheng did not need to ask, he could already guess that these cultivators who had arrived first should be the first batch of 70 inner sect disciples. But what made Ning Cheng puzzled was that those young soul essence cultivators who were watching the tournament from the main platform also came here. After all the people came in, a middle-aged cultivator came to the front and spoke. This time the 100 inner sect disciples recruited are all here. Before Elder Hong had spoken about an opportunity that everyone could not even dream of. Now I will tell everyone what this opportunity is. This opportunity is that for some of you, you might get a chance to cultivate in the small spiritual domain for a month. The middle-aged cultivator's words were immediately interrupted by a burst of excited voices. The reason why many cultivators were eager to enter the Rainbow Fall Sword sect was because the Rainbow Fall Sword sect had the small spiritual domain. But now someone actually said to them that they might get a chance to cultivate in the small spiritual domain for a month. This kind of thing made them even more excited. Ning Cheng's heart sank. He knew that he must have made a mistake. Those soul essence cultivators who were watching from the side, maybe it was for the sake of obtaining a spot to enter the small spiritual domain. However, when Ning Cheng's eyes swept towards Fu Xingnan who was staring at him with hatred, he suddenly calmed down. Even if he did not have the opportunity this time, in the future he would have the opportunity to enter the small spiritual domain. Besides, it was just a trifling 1 month. He did not care about it at all. Everyone calm down, listen to my explanation. The middle-aged male cultivator quickly used his hands to suppress the noise. He could understand this kind of excitement. After the crowd quieted down, The middle-aged male cultivator spoke up. This time the Great Liang True Country and the Northern Shang True Country went to war, causing countless lives to be lost. Many of the academies have sent their important disciples to mediate the dispute, in order to avoid even greater damage and casualties. Ning Cheng, on hearing this, sneered. He had not come to the Yixing mainland for a day or two. With the two true countries going to war, even if the two great true countries were completely destroyed, there would not be any academies that would be kind enough to mediate. It was even more impossible for them to say such words. He knew the cultivators in this place too well. For this middle-aged cultivator to speak such words, it showed that there was definitely something good in this war, or at least something that was worthy for the academies to send out. In order to avoid causing even greater disputes, the major academies have agreed that only cultivators below the soul essence realm can go. In fact, even if a cultivator with a high cultivation goes, it would not be of any use. When the time comes, you will come to understand. The middle-aged cultivator's eyes swept over the 100 newly promoted inner sect disciples, before he continued. Our Rainbow Fall Sword sect will send a total of 4 true inheriting disciples, and 4 core disciples. But each disciple will have to bring along 1 or 2 profound congealing disciples. These profound congealing disciples must have formidable strength, and also have a flexible mind. Speaking till here, not only Ning Cheng, but even the other newly selected inner sect disciples also understood what was going on. Some of the disciples who were selected because of their powerful spiritual roots, but their strength was a bit weaker, they already knew that this matter had nothing to do with them. 8 true inheriting disciples and core disciples going out. At most they would only be able to take along 16 people. Seeing that the atmosphere was somewhat depressing, this middle-aged cultivator raised his voice and spoke. All the inner sect disciples that are selected and taken away will have a 1-month opportunity to enter the Academy's small spiritual domain to cultivate. This represents the importance that the Academy attaches to you. Chapter 267. Ning Cheng sighed. Sure enough. Although he had won every match, who among the top 30 had ever lost? From the looks of it, if these true disciples or core disciples were to choose a quota, they would definitely not pick him. All the true disciples and core disciples have seen your performance on the stage. The inner disciples who are selected will stay behind. Those who are not selected will go directly to the Inner Disciple Affairs Hall to receive their own cave abode and go through the relevant procedures. After the middle-aged cultivator finished speaking, he stood to the side, obviously waiting for the legacy disciples and core disciples to choose their spots. Senior Apprentice Brother K, you are my Rainbow Fall Sword sect's eldest senior apprentice brother. You should go first. The several young men and women spoke in unison. Many thanks to all the junior brothers and junior sisters. In that case, I will go first. A young male cultivator who was less than 30 years old walked out with a smile on his face. What a handsome guy. This guy could totally become a Huadan. Ning Cheng couldn't help but praise this senior apprentice Brother K from the bottom of his heart. He was wearing a dark blue robe, and had a black embroidered belt with a coiling dragon pattern on his waist, both of which were spiritual artifacts. He was tall and slender, and he looked cultured and refined. Just this outfit alone could sell for a lot of spirit stones. Thinking of spirit stones, Ning Cheng was even more eager to go to the small spiritual domain to fill up his core lake. Only when his core lake was filled to the brim would he have a chance to advance to the profound core realm. The handsome-looking male cultivator came out and cupped his fists, looking very polite. Fellow junior apprentice brothers and junior apprentice sisters, I am the Rainbow Fall Sword sect's true inheriting disciple K Hung Shui. Everyone can just call me Senior Apprentice Brother Quebec. In my heart, there is no such thing as a true inheriting, core inner sect or outer sect disciple. As long as I enter the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, we will all be fellow apprentice brothers and sisters. We should help each other to improve our own cultivation, so that we can gain face for ourselves and show our sect's might. K Hung Shui's eloquence was quite good. As soon as the conversation ended, it immediately made all the people feel that this eldest senior apprentice brother was truly a good person, while at the same time they also had a lot of recognition towards the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. Because of the war between the Great Liang True Country and the Northern Shang True Country, our sect is also tasked to mediate. I don't dare to say that this mission is to mediate the war between the two countries. In fact, we don't have the qualifications to mediate. This time, we have another matter to attend to. The disciples who were selected to go to the small spiritual domain would be able to obtain many more opportunities than staying in the small spiritual domain to cultivate, but at the same time, there was also the danger of dying. If they were not willing to go, then they could stand up and stay in the academy to cultivate. This is human nature. No one will blame you. Ke Hongshui's words aroused everyone's favorable impression. That's more like it. He said that he was going to mediate the war between the two countries, but he said that he was bemoaning the heavens. Who was he lying to? Who would go if there were no benefits? I will choose a disciple, Feng Zhen from the 13th battle platform. Ke Hongshui then reported the inner sect disciple he wanted to choose. A male cultivator standing next to Ning Cheng on hearing Ke Hongshui's words, quickly stood up and spoke with excitement. Feng Zhen, many thanks for eldest senior apprentice brother's kindness, greets the senior apprentice brothers and senior apprentice sisters. Ke Hongshui gave a slight smile and spoke. Feng Zhen, you can just stand by my side, I will arrange something for you in a while. Yes, senior brother Quebec. Feng Zhen excitedly walked out of the crowd and stood behind Ke Hongshui with many envious gazes. Junior sister Xian, I've already made my choice. You can choose now. As Ke Hongshui finished, he took the initiative to move to the side. Ningcheng saw a female cultivator wearing a lavender robe nod her head as she slowly walked out. Ningcheng could even hear the exclamations of the many cultivators around him. He knew that they were all marveling at the beauty of this purple-robed female cultivator. This junior sister Xian was indeed beautiful, and was not the least bit inferior to Yanji and Nalan Rushua. Moreover, in terms of noble temperament, this junior sister Xian was even a notch above Yanji and Nalan Rushua. Her eyes were like a pool of clear water, coupled with that picturesque face. It could simply be described as flawless. Her clothes and bun were not used to set off her beautiful face. Rather, it was her beautiful face that set off her casual bun and clothes. For a woman to look like this, if placed in the future, there was simply no need for her to put on makeup or perform anything. Just by standing there, she would be able to attract the attention of countless people. Ningcheng had already seen countless beautiful women since he came to the Yixing mainland, and was no longer the pig brother that he was when he first came here. He knew that in this place, if a woman wanted to be beautiful, then she simply did not need to use a scalpel. There were a lot of spiritual grasses, pills, and even cultivation methods, which could give a woman an unparalleled temperament. With this kind of temperament, over a long period of time, it would slowly remove some of the small flaws, allowing the woman to become even more beautiful. Elder sister Lan Shu had said that she had a kind of cultivation method that she could pass on to his fiancée, Luofei. Ningcheng thought until here, and suddenly thought of his fiancée Ji Luofei. In the future, when Luofei's appearance was restored, presumably, she would not be any worse than this junior sister Xian, Yanji, Nalan Rushua and the others. Besides, even if it was a little worse, so what? He was not looking for a wife to look for a vase. Seeing Ningcheng's mind wander, Sun Hanrui, who was standing on the side, suddenly wanted to laugh. All the people were paying attention to who the true inheriting and core disciples would choose. Only this Ningcheng seemed to be thinking about something else. When she had first met Ningcheng, she felt that Ningcheng was somewhat different. If he was like an ordinary cultivator, which profound congealing cultivator would dare to casually stop a soul essence cultivator, like her on the street to ask for help? Moreover, there was not even a little bit of fear or a sense of respect. Which profound congealing cultivator would dare to tell a soul essence cultivator to fuck off? She guessed that only a person with thick nerves would dare to do such a thing. This Ningcheng's strength was actually quite good, but what he learnt was just too ordinary. He was able to rush into the top 30, not only because of luck, but also because of his deep foundation. Looking at his fights, one could tell that he went all out in every match, and finally won his opponent by relying on his deep foundation. The purple-robed woman also had a smile on her face, as her eyes swept over all the profound congealing cultivators, and then she also saw Ningcheng's mind wander. All the disciples here were nervously looking at her. It was estimated that only this person was thinking about something else. However, the purple-robed woman quickly took back her gaze and spoke. Fellow junior apprentice brothers and sisters, I am called Luo Xian, and am also a true inheriting disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. As for the rest of the words, Deacon Hong and senior apprentice brother K have already spoken, so I will not say anything more. This time, I will only choose an inner sect disciple, and I have chosen Che Yen from the 6th battle platform. A brown-robed cultivator, on hearing Luo Xian choose his name, was so excited that he almost shivered, as he quickly came out and gave a bow to express his gratitude, before carefully standing behind Luo Xian. Ning Cheng recovered, and was also secretly admiring her. While he was fighting, he was also paying attention to the situation on the other battle platforms. Whether it was Ke Hongshui's choice of Feng Zhen, or Luo Xian's choice of Che Yen, he thought that both of them were quite powerful. After Luo Xian made her choice and retreated, the third person to come out was a young man who looked very cold and detached. Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's true inheriting disciple Hu Hong has chosen Yu Tingmeng. This man spoke in the same manner as his expression, cold and concise. Ning Cheng could already see that the disciples chosen were also from the true inheriting disciples to the core disciples, with their cultivation starting from the highest to the lowest. The first to be chosen were Ke Hongshui and Luo Xian, both of whom were cultivators at the Great Circle of the Soul Essence realm, while this Hu Hong was a Soul Essence 6th level cultivator. Then the true inheriting disciples was Xiangsu, the core disciples Wen Han and Fu Huahui all came out, and chose an inner sect disciple with the cultivation of profound congealing realm. It could be estimated that because the true inheriting disciples had only chosen an inner sect disciple, as such when the core disciples chose, they also only chose one person. Ning Cheng unexpectedly did not choose anyone, but what made Ning Cheng surprised was that Liang Kersen was also not chosen. In his opinion, Liang Kersen's performance was absolutely outstanding. Although he didn't dare to say that she was the best, she could still be in the top 5. Just as Ning Cheng had guessed, the 7th one to come forward was the core disciple Sun Hanrui. She first smiled towards Ning Cheng, before cupping her fists and spoke. Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's core disciple Sun Hanrui chooses Liang Kersen from the 17th battle stage. Many thanks senior apprentice sister Sun. Liang Kersen, on hearing that Sun Hanrui had chosen her, immediately came forward and thanked her in a pleasant surprise. In contrast, she wanted to go back to the great Liang True country to have a look. Not to mention, wasn't there also a month's opportunity to cultivate in the small spiritual domain? I've already made my choice, junior apprentice sister Xingnan, it's your turn. Sun Hanrui gave a faint smile to Fu Xingnan at her side, as she pulled Liang Kersen to the side. Sun Hanrui's attitude towards Liang Kersen immediately aroused some puzzled gazes. Although there were many inner sect disciples who were chosen by true disciples or core disciples, there was still a hierarchy among them. Most of the chosen inner disciples stood behind the true inheritors and core disciples. For Sun Hanrui to hold Liang Kersen's hand like this was the first time. Fu Xingnan came out and glanced at the many longing gazes that were looking at her, before her gaze finally fell on Ning Cheng. I choose Ning Cheng, the first in the 9th battle stage. Hearing Fu Xingnan's voice, Liang Kersen and Ning Cheng's heart sank at the same time. Even Sun Hanrui frowned. Sun Hanrui had previously suspected that Fu Xingnan and Wen Han's whispering had something to do with Ning Cheng, but now that Fu Xingnan had chosen Ning Cheng, she was sure that Fu Xingnan did not choose Ning Cheng out of kindness, but rather had a murderous intent towards Ning Cheng. She sighed in her heart. Junior apprentice sister Xingnan was really too paranoid. She felt that Ning Cheng and Fu Xiaomei becoming friends did not have any other intentions. It should be Fu Xingnan who was overthinking things. While the rest of the soul essence cultivation disciples were looking at Fu Xingnan in puzzlement, Fu Xingnan was a core disciple. As such, her vision should not be so bad. Although Ning Cheng had won every match on the 9th battle stage, but as for the specific situation, everyone could see it with their own eyes. At best, one could only say that he was a mediocre inner sect disciple. Moreover, Fu Xingnan was from the Fu clan, so it was reasonable to say that her vision should not be so bad, right? Ning Cheng, on hearing that Fu Xingnan had chosen him, how could he not know that the opposite party wanted to make a move against him? Sure enough, it was this cheap woman. Ning Cheng was secretly angry in his heart, but at the same time he was also helpless. Without the rank 6 soul essence puppet, he was now 100% sure that he was not a match against Fu Xingnan. Chapter 268. Many thanks to this senior sister for choosing me. It's just that although I obtained first place on the 9th stage, the price I paid was not small. Not only was his body riddled with wounds, but he was also weak and exhausted. The thing that I want to do the most right now is not to go to the Great Liang True Country, or the Northern Shang True Country, but rather to find a place to sleep for 3 days and 3 nights. Ning Cheng did not hesitate to step forward and take the initiative to reject this errand. His tone was full of energy. Where was the slightest bit of exhaustion? Why would he go over to such a risky thing? Being together with a soul essence cultivator, who held a grudge against him, unless he was crazy. All the cultivators in the hall stared at Ning Cheng in confusion. Where did such a bold cultivator come from? Although big senior brother Ke Hengshui said that he could choose not to go, but that was just him being polite. Besides, a core disciple choosing an inner disciple to follow should be a huge favor. How could he refuse? Fu Xingnan's eyes were filled with anger, but she had no choice but to suppress her anger and spoke in a light voice. I can see that your whole body is surging with true essence, and even your words are full of energy, without even half a shred of injury. Do you not want to give me any face? Besides, even if you have some minor injuries, I will help you heal them. We cultivators hate to be lazy. Sleep for 3 days? You can even think of that. It's not a good thing for a lazy disciple like you to join my sect. At this time, most of the people could hear that Ning Cheng and Fu Shengnan might have some contradictions. Some of the newly joined inner sect disciples of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect were praising Ning Cheng's boldness, but at the same time, they were also worried about Ning Cheng, while at the same time, there were also some people who rejoiced in his misfortune. An inner sect disciple who had just joined the Rainbow Fall Sword sect is already acting so arrogant, lawless and out of control. This kind of disciple is really not worth it. Just as Fu Xingnan's voice fell, another angry voice once again berated her. Ning Cheng was able to recognize the male cultivator who was helping him. It was the same young male cultivator who was with Sun Hanrui that day. Ning Cheng cupped his fists in fear and spoke, "May I ask which elder is this? Prick up your ears and listen carefully. I am Rainbow Fall Sword Sect's core disciple Wen Han." The male cultivator spoke out in disdain. Ning Cheng recalled the words spoken by Wu Zhuo on the battle platform, and immediately understood that this Wen Han was the one who had teamed up with Fu Xingnan to plot against him. Ning Cheng put down his cupped fists and said with a sneer, "So you are not an elder, ah? It really scared me. Hearing your arrogant tone, I thought you were an elder, but in the end, you're just a disciple." I really did not think that the Rainbow Fall Sword sect's core disciples would have such great power, to be able to casually expel an inner sect disciple. Formidable, truly formidable. If you were an elder, wouldn't it mean that those who submitted to me would prosper, and those who opposed me would perish? Saying that, Ning Cheng cupped his fists towards the middle-aged cultivator and spoke, "Deacon Hong, I have just become an inner sect disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. As such, there are many rules that I do not understand. May I ask, Deacon Hong, does this plague have the authority to expel an inner disciple like me?" Deacon Hong was suddenly at a loss for words. If Wen Han wanted to secretly take away an inner sect disciple like Ning Cheng, then it would really be a small matter. However, he definitely didn't have the authority to fire him so blatantly. How could Wen Han bear Ning Cheng's ridicule? As his murderous aura suddenly overflowed in all directions. What about you? Just a moment ago, senior apprentice Brother K had also clearly stated that going to the Great Liang True Country was completely voluntary. I'm just not feeling well. Can't I just not go? Everyone here was a disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. Moreover, senior apprentice Brother K had also said that no matter what kind of disciple it was, all of them were fellow apprentice brothers and sisters from the same sect, without any distinction of nobility or inferiority. I find you pleasing to the eye, so I call you Junior Martial Brother. I find you unpleasant to the eye, so who do you think you are? Ning Cheng thought that he and this guy did not have any enmity between them, but this guy, in order to please a woman, had secretly harmed him, causing him to feel extremely uncomfortable in his heart. He did not believe that in this Rainbow Fall Sword sect, the opposite party could do anything to him. If worse comes to worst, he would just have to leave the Rainbow Fall Sword sect and not be an inner sect disciple anymore. Moreover, that eldest senior apprentice brother called Ke Hongshui had said before that it was up to them to stay or leave. If this Ke Hongshui remembered what he had said before, he would have taken the initiative to stand up. Ning Cheng's words, not to mention the inner sect disciples, even the true inheriting disciples and the core disciples looked at Ning Cheng in a daze. Where did this fellow come from, since he had already become an inner sect disciple of the Rainbow Fall Sword sect? How could he be so reckless as to offend a core disciple? Deacon Hong, you take a look, this is the inner sect disciple that we have recruited this time, just like this. If they were not in a public place, Wen Han would have already killed Ning Cheng. Deacon Hong was also a bit embarrassed, although Ning Cheng's words were not pleasant to hear, but he did not say anything wrong. However, for an inner sect disciple to be this arrogant, it really was too much. Just as Deacon Hong was in a bit of a dilemma, Ke Hongshui suddenly stood up and spoke in a light voice. What this junior apprentice brother Ning said is not wrong. Whether he is physically ill or not, or does not want to go to the Great Liang True Country, or the Northern Shang True Country, this is his freedom. Such being the case, then junior apprentice sister Sheng Nan can choose another disciple. Many thanks senior apprentice brother Quebec. Listening to these words, my illness suddenly became better, but I still do not want to take the risk. Ning Cheng knew when to stop, as he cupped his fists towards Ke Hongshui and thanked him. Ke Hongshui looked at Ning Cheng and gave a meaningful smile, as he nodded and retreated. Wen Han's complexion was even more livid, but he was also helpless. Yes, eldest senior apprentice brother. Then I will choose Mao Hongqua. Fu Xingnan, on hearing Ke Hongshui address her as junior apprentice sister Xingnan, the anger in her heart had already disappeared without a trace. She did not even hear Ning Cheng's sarcasm, as her tone even contained a trace of shyness. At this time, how could she still remember who Ning Cheng was? Deacon Hong, seeing that the matter had been resolved, quickly stepped forward and spoke. The selected 8 inner sect disciples can stay behind. The rest of the new disciples will immediately follow me to the Hall of Affairs to receive their identity jade cards, as well as go through the formalities to settle into the Immortal Cave. Ning Cheng nodded towards Liang Kersen and Sun Hanrui. A moment ago Sun Hanrui wanted to stand up and speak up for him, but Ke Hongshui spoke up first. Moreover, the matter was resolved with just a few words from her eldest senior apprentice brother. As such, she did not come out to speak again. Senior apprentice sister Xian, this Ning Cheng's skills are ordinary, but his temper is not ordinary. A puny inner sect disciple unexpectedly dares to ridicule a core disciple. After Ning Cheng and the others walked out, Zhuo Xiangsu spoke to Luo Xian through sound transmission. Luo Xian pondered for a moment before replying that Ning Cheng should be a bit strange. An ordinary person should not have this kind of character. In most cases, a person's character will determine what kind of cultivation method he cultivates. This Ning Cheng's character is not a patient person, but he showed that he was patient in all aspects. This should be a bit strange. That's right, I understand. Luo Xian did not continue. Ning Cheng was patient in all aspects during the fight. Moreover, with the performance of Fu Xingnan and Wen Han, she already understood that Ning Cheng and these two people should have some kind of enmity between them. This Ning Cheng also knows when to advance and when to retreat. Moreover, he and the 2 core disciples had enmity between them. As such, he was not willing to stand out during the fight. However, Fu Xingnan and Wen Han had gone too far, which provoked Ning Cheng. After Luo Xian understood all of this, the corners of her mouth showed a trace of a smile. This was a profound congealing cultivator with quite a personality. With this kind of personality and this kind of low strength, wanting to mix well in the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, it would be somewhat difficult. Where there were people, there would be rivers and lakes, and the Rainbow Fall Sword sect was no exception. Do not look at what Ke Hongshui said. In fact, the Rainbow Fall Sword sect was also filled with many factions. Ning Cheng was just a little profound congealing cultivator without any roots, but the moment he came to the academy, he had already offended 2 core disciples, Moreover, even Deacon Hong did not have a good impression of him. It could be seen that his future would be somewhat difficult. Ning Cheng did not care about any of this, no matter how he lived in the Rainbow Fall Sword sect. At least before Fu Shengnan and when Han came back, no one would come looking for trouble with him. If he went to the Great Liang True Country and the Northern Shang True Country to make a fortune, he would not be able to return for at least half a year, right? He was afraid that Fu Shengnan and Wen Han would come looking for trouble with him, so while he was looking for an immortal cave, he chose a mountain peak where the inner sect disciples gathered, the sword-washing mountain peak. After receiving his identity jade card, along with some of the necessary items for an inner disciple and a few jade strips, Ning Cheng immediately returned to his immortal cave on the Washing Sword Mountain Peak. The Washing Sword Mountain Peak was the place where the Rainbow Fall Sword sect's inner sect disciples congregated the most. The spiritual qi in this place was very rich, and was even not inferior to some of the core disciples' mountain peaks. However, because there were many disciples cultivating here, the spiritual energy was evenly distributed. Ning Cheng's immortal cave was located at the top of the mountain, because the spiritual vein flowed from the foot of the mountain. In addition, there were all kinds of spirit gathering arrays from the foot of the mountain to the top of the mountain. Almost all the spirit qi was sucked away midway. However, Ning Cheng did not care about it. He was quite satisfied with his current immortal cave. Even if 90% of the spirit qi was sucked away midway, when it came to his place, the spirit qi was still incomparably rich. From this point, one could see that the Rainbow Fall Sword sect was a grand academy. If he did not care about others, then Ning Cheng could arrange a huge spirit gathering array here. Then his cultivation speed would not be slow at all. Not to mention that at the entrance of his immortal cave, there was also a spiritual qi lake. This spiritual qi lake must have been left behind by the previous generation, although one could not cultivate here. But with some spiritual grasses and spiritual bamboos planted on the lakeside, at least the environment was very relaxing. Ning Cheng had been drifting around since he came to the Yixing mainland. It was not until today that he finally had his own place to live. Ning Cheng secretly sighed. Until today, he finally had a place to live in the Yixing mainland. Although it was a high-rise building with many people living together, it was still much better than continuing to wander around. After releasing Grey Toot Toot, Ning Cheng began to arrange a variety of array formations around the place. At the same time, he was also waiting for Liang Curson to come over. He believed that before Liang Curson left the Rainbow Fall Sword sect, she would definitely come to find him. Sure enough, Ning Cheng had not even finished arranging the defensive array formations when Liang Curson and Sun Hanrui arrived at Ning Cheng's immortal cave. Regarding the arrival of Sun Hanrui, Ning Cheng really did not expect it. He had thought that at most it would be Liang Curson. He did not expect that even Sun Hanrui would come together with him. Looking at the demeanor of Liang Curson and Sun Hanrui, it seemed that the relationship between the two of them was already very good. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.